यो हेलो चैट। आवाज आ रहा है?
आ गए ऑनलाइन।
आ गया ऑनलाइन भाई। यूट्यूब पे जरा ये देख मैंने क्या लेआउट बनाया है भाई।
रुक जा अभी पहले बर्गर किंग की एड चलने दे। भाई तेरे को $1 दिया है मैंने बर्गर किंग की एड देख के।
हाँ मैंने।
ओ भाई मेहनत हो गई भाई, मेहनत हो गई भाई, दिक्कत हो जाएगी, ऐसे थोड़ी चलेगा भाई।
दिस वाज
मेहनत हो गई
शाउट
भाई।
आउट टू माय मॉड सोहम फॉर सेंडिंग। उसने 15 मिनट पहले भेजा मेरे को कि भाई भाई सुनो सुनो एक मैंने बनाया अच्छे से।
अच्छा, I had to hold a
Trash talk
joke
वाला
back,
note।
but I will hold it back. देख भाई, पता नहीं तू किस ट्रैश टॉक की उम्मीद में है, मैं तो ट्रैश टॉकिंग कर नहीं सकता।
नहीं नहीं, इट्स नॉट। इट्स मोर लाइक
हाँ।
टुडे आई एम टॉकिंग टू ट्रैश लॉट ऑफ ऑडियंसेस सेइंग, सो दैट इज द जोक।
ओ ओ वाओ, ऑडियंस इज फनी।
ये तो
वाओ।
है।
Vivek, even funnier than you are actually.
या प्रखर को अभी
Have
बहुत
you
अच्छा,
considered
प्रखर को
that?
बहुत अच्छा भी ये मिल गया है कि इट्स ऑनगोइंग इन कोर्ट तो कांट डिस्कस इट। गर्लफ्रेंड पूछेगी हु वाज दैट गर्ल यू वर विद यस्टरडे, कांट डिस्कस।
Can't discuss. I'm so sorry. Do you want 2 crore rupees to be given to me too?
ऑनगोइंग कोर्ट केस।
हाँ
बट ऑल चैट चालू हो गया भाई। मैं तो
हाँ,
मैं
चैट का।
बोला।
बोल। बोलना।
No, I'm saying I don't
नहीं
believe
नहीं
like
बोलना।
unless someone is leaking personal information or writing something about someone's parents ना, I don't believe in censoring my chat। मतलब मेरा जितना लोग बेइज्जती करते हैं मेरे चैट में उतना किसी और का नहीं होता है। So I am just like जो
Which
चल रहा है चलने देंगे अपन।
which reminds me, not that I intended to at
Insult
least
me।
talk about this. I found an Twitter account yesterday.
Okay,
They had commented on one of my posts or something.
okay,
The handle is literally about my mother. They're
okay.
impersonating my mother.
Wow.
My mother is a public servant. That person has committed a crime enough to go to jail if my mom was to take offense in that. Not just that, I was also recently forwarded a Twitter DM where my father has been completely doxxed. Everything from his childhood to what he does now to where he lives, everything. So, what is your opinion on that?
तो चैट को पूछ रहा है मुझे पूछ रहा है।
You, Vivek.
Oh, if you're asking me, I'm like luckily you know good lawyers, so you can definitely take them to court।
I mean, bro, I'm not interested in 17-year-olds going to court.
See, it's fucked up
That's
either way।
not the point.
I genuinely the thing is ना, I genuinely believe कि no matter what your side is on this, कल कोई श्वेताब के फैमिली के बारे में कोई लिख दिया कुछ, even Sandeep's family for that matter, it's wrong। It should be between the three of you, which is you, Sandeep, Shwetab, and whoever else you put a case on, people and all that। मतलब the individuals themselves, not the families। That irrespective of whose side you are on, I feel that's a reasonable stance to take as an adult or a
Right.
child, I feel।
So these are things I don't bring up. There is more things, even more bombastic than this. I just haven't brought that up. And this is no like, oh, Prakhar ki side of the story kind of stream. That's not what we're here to do. But this is just to say, shit hasn't stopped being bad.
Yeah।
Like I'll tell you, let me WhatsApp you something. Don't read it out aloud. I'm purposely choosing to keep it private right now
Okay।
because for strategic reasons. But look at that.
मेरी नुन्नी छोटी है, क्या बात कर रहा है?
सही
Is
में
it
भाई,
really?
किसी को
मुझे
तो
लगा
बता
मुझे
भाई।
लगा था।
Can you imagine? मेरे को आज पता लगा मेरी लुल्ली छोटी है।
हाँ, shocking shit, shocking। 14 Pro, ओके हाँ, 14 Pro विवेक, हाँ रे ठीक है। कस्टम्स दोस्त यूएस से आ रही थी, अवंती करके। She did some
अच्छा,
smuggling
अवंती
shit।
क्या है? अवंती
She did some
बेचारी।
smuggling shit। हाँ,
वो
अवंती।
यहाँ पे कॉन्सर्ट करने आती है, तुम उसका फायदा उठा लेते हो bro।
अवंती को
ऐसे थोड़ी चलेगा
apparently
bro।
कस्टम्स में रोका और बोल रहे ये क्या है? वो बोली नहीं मेरा ही फोन है। Like you already have two phones, no, I need a third phone, I record content। फिर then she started showing her like vlogs and all
She has
that।
3 phones?
She has two already। Then she started showing her vlogs। Yeah, I'm recording with this। They're like, I don't want to see your vlogs, you can go। They were like, ये कन्फ्यूज कर देना, इसका पूरा vlog भी देखना पड़ेगा। They're like, नहीं ठीक है, you can go।
I was expecting there to be more hate यार। Vivek, your chat is kind of sober, क्या बात है?
I think like at this point it's that even if people don't agree with you na, it's being played out in a larger or and a more prestigious venue। So वहाँ पे जो होगा उसके बाद जो होगा होगा। I think people
बहनचोद
are
मैजिक
tired।
शो नहीं है, prestigious venue।
नहीं है क्या? दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट नहीं है क्या prestigious?
नहीं, prestigious है, venue नहीं है।
वेन्यू नहीं है, वो तो है। ऑल्सो नाउ इट्स लाइक आई थिंक वन मोर थिंग, दिस इज फ्रॉम माई साइड, ठीक है? लाइक पीपल आर एक्टिंग एज इफ अगर समझ मैं तेरे साथ एक ये किया वीडियो अभी, सो इट मेक्स इट इम्पॉसिबल फॉर मी टू डू अ वीडियो विद श्वेताब इन एवरीवेयर इन द फ्यूचर। इफ सुहानी इज डूइंग दैट्स माय जॉब विद श्वेताब, शी कांट एवर डू अ वीडियो विद यू। इट्स like one is content sphere, which people can do whatever the fuck they want. The second thing is what is happening legally. Now this is like कि घर में झगड़े नहीं चल रहे कि family members का side लो या दोस्तों का side लो. Ultimately now I mean, me and you are friends. We're not just doing content. But at the same time I think कि तुम लोग का legal issue is तुम लोग का legal issue. If it gets us involved, then जो होगा होगा. But honestly, like no offense, I'm just bored of your whole thing now, man. I mean, and I think
I've been
I'm
bored
fucking
of it
done.
for months, bro. I want this to stop. I've been bored of this for months now. Since probably July, I've been bored of this.
To be
But
fair,
this
you've
does not
also
stop.
kept releasing more videos, but then it's like दोनों तरफ
How
से
the
हो रहा है.
fuck do I stop when, bro? That is what the people see. No, they see कि मैंने videos release किए हैं. मैंने क्यों videos release किए हैं? मैंने response में videos release किए हैं.
Yeah,
It happened, and then I had to do something.
fair enough. I get that.
Right? So it's not like मेरे को कोई मजा आ रहा था वो videos release करके, bro. Every time I released a video, I risked everything going to shit. It eventually did.
Yeah.
Every time I did something, I risked things going to shit.
यार मेरा तो
मैं क्या करूं? हाँ.
करेक्ट हम दोनों का ये बात हुआ था कि ट्रैश टॉक को होल्ड पे डालते हैं. लाइक आई हैड आस्क्ड यू अ कपल ऑफ टाइम्स, यू हैड डिस्कस्ड विद मी अ कपल ऑफ टाइम्स, एंड बोथ टाइम्स इट वाज लाइक कि देख अभी now at least we can discuss some stuff about it. I personally have very little interest in it, but the problem is because तुम लोग का ये पूरा publicly play out हो रहा है ना, I feel it's fair game for audience to discuss it. ये अगर घर में कुछ हो रहा होता समझ कि घर में कुछ झगड़े चल रहे हैं, प्रॉपर्टी के झगड़े चल रहे हैं कुछ फैमिली में, but you are not publicly playing it on YouTube, then its audience is wrong in trying to figure out कि क्या हो रहा है. But if both of you or three of you are going to publicly post community posts, videos and all that, then I don't blame anyone in the chat for wanting to know more about it because it is now playing in the public. So that's like a relationship vlogger. If you vlog your relation, no, you haven't, but it is in the public now.
Yeah, I know what you mean, bro. Like at this point, I barely care. Like I've seen, मैंने दुनिया देख ली, ठीक है? पिछले 3-4 महीने में ना, I've seen the world and I've seen how this is playing out and what the people note and what people don't note, and so I don't have any qualms about what people have to say largely.
No, which is not to justify people doxing your parents. That's a line way too far. I mean more in terms of why people are interested in what's going to happen. तेरे को मैं बोला ना, like remember I told you कि तेरा जो डेटकास्ट था, I don't give up, like I mean अवंती ने डेटकास्ट देखा मैंने, but frankly I don't give a fuck about डेटकास्ट. क्या है डेटकास्ट? मैं डेटकास्ट बैठ के कमेंट्स पढ़ रहा था इसके कि कितना हेट मिल रहा है, देखते मजेदार. And then I started
वेला है तू जीवन में कुछ कर ले इससे बेहतर. मैं खुद नहीं पढ़ता अपने कमेंट्स.
Then I started listening and I was like okay maybe the content is also decent, but मैं तो बैठ के कमेंट्स पढ़ता था कि आज क्या होगा. You know जब एक दोस्त फेल होता है स्कूल में and तुम्हें पता है कि घर पे गाड़ लगने वाली है उसकी, तो you feel bad for the friend but you also want to listen to what his mummy is telling him. तो तुम कान से दरवाजा पकड़ के रख देते, क्या ये लगता है गांड मारना.
अबे यार तू पता है, तू तभी तो तेरा सब मजाक उड़ाते हैं विवेक. यही तो प्रॉब्लम है, तू बड़ा ही नहीं हुआ यार. तू 11-12 साल का है.
I prefer a verbal punishment over legal punishment. गाली दे दो मुझे.
कह रहा भाई ठीक है, तेरे पे केस नहीं करूंगा, कोई नहीं, खुश रह.
Prakhar, how are you doing? Hope you are good.
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm having a blast of a time.
तो अभी देख, okay now chat हम लोग ने surprisingly we just opened with this now, not because प्रखर ने कुछ नहीं बोला कि ऐसे इसके बारे में बात कर उसके बारे में बात कर, whatever he can't discuss you can say कि कोर्ट का ये है, but I am done with this topic now if possible because मैं तुम लोग को मेरे स्ट्रीम से privately बोला है कि I don't like boring है यार, मतलब anime देख लो, Game of Thrones देख लो, much more interesting honestly. उसमें actually चीजें हो भी रही है, इसमें कब होगा पता नहीं कुछ अपडेट. तो
खैर अगर तेरे को इस पूरी सिचुएशन की स्क्रिप्ट पता लग जाए ना पीछे से, तो तू बोलेगा हाँ इसी को तो बना दो वेब सीरीज, फिर क्या प्रॉब्लम है.
बढ़िया.
तो ये कम नहीं है ब्रो. मेरा लॉयर लिटरली कह रहा भाई ये तो वेब सीरीज होनी चाहिए थी भाई.
मेरा लॉयर प्रखर का लॉयर अभी बॉलीवुड में घुसने वाला है इसके बाद कि आई हैव अ स्टोरी फॉर यू.
इसको लेके जाएगा स्क्रिप्ट की तरह.
I have a story for you. अच्छा एक चीज बता मुझे, ठीक है? So when this Andrew Tate thing was, first of all I have a question, ठीक है? What is the difference? And this is going to seem very, so I don't mean it as an insult, just generally asking. Other than the quality of advice being offered, and the fact that you are not running a multi-level marketing scheme, you don't have referral codes. Other than the quality of advice and the fact that you are not an MLM, what isn't like Hustlers University and Art of Conversation both self-improvement? How are they different? Other than the fact that you are not advising people to like, let fat guys die and not give them CPR. Did you see that clip? Andrew Tate ka?
I've seen most of Andrew Tate's
Andrew
stuff.
Tate बोलता है कि like
I loved watching most of
I
his
will
stuff.
never give guys CPR.
No, I know. तेरे को पतला होना चाहिए था, all of that kind of.
That, yeah. So how do you differentiate between someone like Hustlers University and yeah?
What is the difference? What is the difference between IIT and Hustlers University? They are both offering you upskills.
No, one is a degree and one is a technique. No,
बहनचोद एक वो
it has
पेपर ही
practical
तो दे रहे हैं
applications,
ना.
but it has practical applications. I think both are self-improvement. Yours is better. Isn't it? But the same vertical.
bro, so the vertical is not at the level of art of conversation, that is at the level of content we do, which is at the level of content, both of us are self-improvement guys in some way.
Correct. That's what I'm asking.
हाँ, so उस level पे तो हाँ, there is no two ways. So the products that we will create will be in the same vertical as what we do.
Got it.
Art of conversation. If you were to compare art of conversation to dating programs, there is a
Yeah.
better comparison to be made there.
Fair enough.
Because वहाँ पे फिर वो social skill level पे भी तुम compare कर
But
सकते
वो भी तो वही बेच रहा है, like in a way what he's now your thing is like I've seen some of your courses, so I'm not saying the courses are the same, but the promise is from him कि you get, and it's true, the difference is you're selling to adults, he's selling to 12-year-olds, but वो भी तो वही बोल रहा है कि like get
No,
this,
I think he's
come,
selling-
fucking
he's-
get girls, whatever, right?
Even he's selling higher up the age hierarchy. At least he was selling higher up the age hierarchy. I think तू किसी भी type का self improvement यार, like okay, probably a misdemeanor, but suppose
Yeah.
कल को अगर Andrew Tate comes out with a book,
Yeah.
it's going to be roughly the same as say Shwetab's book.
Okay.
If Andrew Tate has
Are
seminars
you using this as a way to make digs now?
no,
Of all the examples.
like bro, frankly not interested. I'm just trying to tell you,
okay, got it.
like कल को अगर वो podcast करता है, it is the same as Ranveer Alabadi.
Got
Like in the sense that the general direction of a red pill creator,
Yeah.
the idea that the world has fooled you in a certain way, that your conditioning has been flawed in a certain way,
Correct.
and therefore I step in to tell you XYZ could have been done better,
Got
to
it.
my understanding. In that structural way, of course, there is great similarities.
So it's like but the difference is like getting it like technically a poisoned like a upma with rat poison and a 5-star meal are technically both food. But that way, right? It's technically the same platform. It's just that one is definitively better than the other. Even if you look at it from a
In fact, I would
subjective
say,
point,
bro,
yeah.
with Andrew Tate, hot take, I don't know what people think. Because मेरे को याद है initially तो बहुत चोंचले हो रहे थे, ठीक है, Andrew Tate के, फिर उसको ban कर दिया, उसकी सारी हवा खत्म हो गई. But I think some of the advice that he offered, apart from the flagrant fucking use of like अनशन जो उसने उल्टी सीधी बातें बोली औरतों के बारे में,
Yeah.
उसको हटा दो अगर. A lot of his advice is very needed. Like a lot of his advice
I'll
is very
fight.
reasonable.
The problem with him now is he'll say one reasonable thing, and I think that's why it's dangerous. Like I'm not like I'm completely anti-censorship, okay? But there's a difference between censorship and then like, and first of all, though none of these platforms are public platforms. So Joe public when you say कि First Amendment in US or when you say freedom of speech, it doesn't apply to privately owned platforms. क्यों हंस रहा है? क्या बोल रहा है? क्या
भाई
चल रहा है
एक बंदे ने लिखा है चल चंद्रचूड़, एंड अगर उसने मेरे बियर्ड स्टाइल को लेके चंद्रचूड़ बोला है, बाप जोक है भाई, मजा आ गया सुन के.
So
हाँ, sorry.
So basically it's like this, right? अगर तू he says one right thing and people are like, oh, maybe he's logical. Then he says 15 wild, crazy things which we think are funny, but if you're 13 years old, you're looking at it and you're like, maybe
Yeah.
And
I
it's
did a whole
dangerous.
stream about Andrew Tate.
I think it's
Here
dangerous.
is my opinion.
Haan.
I think the ratio you're saying is a little messed up, because my estimation of that ratio was that uska 60-65% of the things is non-new, is repeated, is more emphatic than people who have previously said that.
Yeah.
If you've ever followed Elliot Hulse, Sarat Kalra did a version of Elliot Hulse in India back when he was more active on YouTube.
Got it.
Jordan Peterson. You can trace the hierarchy all the way back to Socrates.
Okay.
To that degree, he's saying non-original, interesting stuff in an emphatic way.
Got it.
There is then another 15% which is novel and interesting and kind of safe.
Got it.
Other 20% is just bullcrap, and that makes him super dangerous. That negates everything else.
That's exactly what I meant to say. Ki that 20% is amplified about 10 times more than the same 10%. And the same 10% is said by 100 other people who are better influences. The fact is he's saying radical shit, and which is why he's getting coverage. I don't think, like, other than entertainment, I thought it was satire first. मैं जब उसके clips देखा, I thought this is a joke. I thought it's from some sketch comedy show. I thought Saturday Night Live है. Yeah, like AIB used to do sketches now. Like, larger than life, crazy shit, Mad TV. मेरे को वैसा लगा. Because he's saying, like, why don't you sleep with a machete? And 13-year-old kids in US are going to start sleeping with machetes.
I was following Andrew Tate before he became as big as he did. Not really from the origin of Andrew Tate, but like sometime during
MC
his
Brute
life.
in the chat saying it's your boy, man.
It's your boy. ये genuine MC Brute
MC
है.
Brute है, हाँ, ये MC Brute है. मैंने
भाई
सामने
तेरे
उसका
साइज के
बनाया.
कच्चे बनने लगे हैं मार्केट में. लोग कह रहे तेरे साइज वाले कच्चे बनाने के लिए उनको स्पेशल लाके वो फैब्रिक लाना पड़ा है ऐसा जो सांप बांध के रख सके. MC.
MC Brute crazy है भाई. हाँ,
So
sorry.
with Andrew Tate, bro, Andrew Tate got dismantled pretty heavy by Hassan Abi.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
saw
know
that.
if
I watched that. I watched the whole thing.
Bro, Hassan Abi, the real G. And
Yeah.
Hassan Abi ke political opinion say I have barely enough time to agree with because a lot of it is so deeply like
Yeah, even
left
I don't agree
leaning.
with a lot of it. Yeah.
But Hassan Abi is the real G. Hassan Abi made a symbolic point that people miss, that good opponents are essential to the intellectual process. And even though I don't agree with anything, I know agar kabhi, if there is a right leaning figure who's going crazy, Hassan Abi will fix. Hassan Abi is that good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Hassan
I
Abi is
watched
that
it.
good.
And you know, the funniest thing is if you watch those clips now, there's some like 2-3. I know they're big Twitch streamers, but 2-3 बच्चे हैं रे 16 साल के. They don't know what the fuck is going on. Like
Adin Ross,
yeah,
XQC बैठे हुए हैं
you
उसमें.
know,
हाँ, I know.
XQC था उसमें. I didn't say XQC in
हाँ
that.
हाँ,
XQC
XQC
भी
था,
है.
Adin Ross था, हसन आबी था और एंड्रू टेट था.
Andrew
XQC
Tate.
वहां बैठ के what do you think you're doing? वो ऐसे करके अपनी एक्सेंट में चिल्ला
Even
रहा है.
XQC मतलब moist critical ना. I don't think
XQC is not moist critical.
Oh, that's different guy.
XQC is
Or
different.
XQC
हाँ,
different.
हाँ. Moist critical की दाढ़ी दूड़ी है, लंबे बाल
Ah,
हैं.
yeah.
I think moist critical beat XQC in PogChamps.
Correct. Okay, moist critical. I know.
I've been
XQC
watching a
का
lot
नहीं.
of Twitch stuff.
हाँ, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, वो मतलब, can you imagine being on a panel where Andrew Tate is the second smartest guy? That was like
That's funny.
Because-
No, actually, I would say Andrew Tate is smart. I would say that. And I'm not
He's
saying just
smart in the sense
hold
that-
up.
yeah.
I got to say something here. I
Yeah.
got to say something here. This is something Indians need to understand. Indians particularly because poverty mindset हमारा default होता है.
But yeah.
If somebody is smart enough to run a business, does not mean they're smart. They are two very distinct things. That is not what I'm saying. Andrew Tate is not smart in a way he could conjure up an MLM that would make him 5 million a month. उस sense में smart नहीं कह रहा मैं.
Got it.
Even his opinion finding and his phrasing is interesting. The fact that watch Andrew Tate with Chian Reynolds. What is that show they do? It's kind of like Datecast. Where Chian Reynolds is a female anchor and she brings on male guests to talk to them. And
Okay.
it's a very viral video. It says Andrew Tate goes on a date with something.
Yeah.
Some of the way, because bro, जब एक live debate होती है ना इस type की, to maintain character and deflect away from truth to the point that you want to make is very difficult.
Yeah.
And so he's got that bit down very solidly. And if you go even deeper on the intellectual merit of most of his stuff, he's making a few foundational errors, but a lot of it is very solid thinking.
Okay, before this gets one clip gets cut and blown up. So when you say poverty mindset, what specifically are you talking about?
Indians operate from a place where they're, even if they have money, they don't have money in their head.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I think that's a horrible thing.
No
You're
man,
constantly in a lacking.
because then you're always working harder. What happens? That's why there are so many bankruptcies.
Aditya,
in
I'm
America.
not defending Tate.
Nahin,
I'm not defending
हाँ.
Tate. I did an hour and a half long stream on why I don't like Tate for what he says, but I find
I
him
don't think he's
interesting.
defending
So,
Tate. I think it's
if you're taking that away from it, then you should watch. There is a motivation channel. I should suggest you. वहाँ पे तुम्हारे type की बातें हो जाएंगी.
Yeah, but
you were saying something.
this I'll fight you on because I'm like this, and I don't think it's wrong because I know 100 examples, and this is most of these guys are Americans, right? Who earn money, live in the moment, and they can't live afterwards. I think it's better. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with acting as if the money you're making is only in the bank and you're broke, so you have to work harder to earn again. I think there's nothing wrong with
that is looking at it. That is looking at the problem with rose-tinted glasses.
Okay.
What happens is when you are if you are lacking of food, consider this, okay?
Okay.
Very simplistic, very condensed example. Say
Yeah.
you don't have food for 3 days.
Okay.
Walk around in the streets and notice how often your eyes move towards food and your nose smells food.
Correct.
Whatever you are lacking becomes the central focus.
Got it.
Right? And so having a mindset where you're humble about money.
Yeah.
Completely all right. I'm not saying Americans are correct. Americans spend way more than they make.
Yeah.
They're
It's
always,
यहाँ पे तो
वो नहीं
बहुत
कह
अलग
रहा.
issues है US में. Yeah.
That is not the binary I'm painting. Indians live with a mindset partly because of a lack of social security.
Yeah.
And partly because we still live in the post-traumatic era of our economic trauma.
Yeah.
हमारे parents were raised in a situation where तुम हो भी talented तो भी पैसा नहीं बनेगा.
Correct.
तुम्हें सरकारी जॉब में ही घुसना पड़ेगा, तुम्हें IIT में ही घुसना पड़ेगा. There was no scope, there was no economic whatever.
Fair enough.
So we are raised with this constant fear response towards money. And the opposite of that is the repressive opposite of that is deification. We deify money.
But there's a median somewhere in there. There's a middle ground.
Of course.
It's not one way or the other. So I
There
don't
is-
think a
there is no
a little bit of stinginess is needed.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of stinginess, if you define it properly, I'm willing to agree on.
Correct.
My general point is, most things in life are neither positive nor negative. They're neutral, prone to interpretation. They're basically on a graph. Where do you end up on a bell curve? right?
Yeah.
But largely with this mindset, what any kind of lacking mindset is not good for your spiritual, emotional, psychological health. Any kind of lacking mindset
Can
is
I give
not
a more
good.
practical example? So
Please do.
what you're saying is right now. If, let's say imagine, ठीक है कि I'm living. Let's say I'm earning 10 lakhs a year, ठीक है,
Hmm.
and I'm spending 7 lakhs because I'm 25. I'm in the prime of my life. No dependencies. ठीक है, savings जो भी 3 लाख भी हो रहे तो it's enough, right? And I work in a job which requires me to interact with people on a day-to-day basis. So there's no work from home equivalent of that. Pandemic hits. I know without the pandemic, my career graph shows that I'll be making 15-20% increments bare minimum every year. So I'm set as long as I start saving post 30, which is what most people used to do. But now that this pandemic is coming into the picture, you've seen so many people like this just brought down because agar tera substitute nahi hai work from home type for what you're doing, then you're fucked. So I get what you're saying, but that works more on a theoretical level. On a practical level, it's very difficult to remove that fear from your mind, especially in country like India, which unlike US and Canada did not have such diverse stimulus. US में तो सीधा पैसे दे दिए कि तुम पैसे लो ये, right?
वो और चुतियापा था अपने आप में.
Right, but it was there. So at least Canada में तो everything was taken care of. New Zealand में, my friend lives in New Zealand. He was getting $500,000. None of these countries would be able to. They would explode if they had even half of India's population.
भाई
So
एक
it
सेकंड,
is.
सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू,
Yeah.
सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू. शुभ कर दे अनसब्सक्राइब और बाकी लोग भी अनसब्सक्राइब कर दो विवेक का चैनल प्लीज. हाँ अब बोल.
हाँ, so I think it's तू जो बोल रहा है ना, if you look at it from like a theoretical point of view as an individual. अरे sorry क्या हो गया? Zoom hang हो गया. Hello.
हाँ आ रही है बोल.
हाँ तो बट तेरा वीडियो हैंग हो गया
हैं?
हाँ अभी चल रहा है, अब चल रहा है. मे बी माई इंटरनेट वाज लैगिंग. हाँ, सो आई एम सेइंग कि आई गेट व्हाट यू आर सेइंग ऑन अ थियोरेटिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, बट फ्रॉम अ प्रैक्टिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इट्स नॉट बेस्ड ऑन एवरीथिंग वी गो थ्रू व्हेन वी आर लिविंग हियर ना. इट्स नॉट द सेम. आई इफ एनीथिंग आई फील लाइक इंडियंस आर मोर रेजिलिएंट. तू देख ना, तू मैं तेरे को बता रहा हूँ पैंडेमिक जो इंडिया में हुआ था, यू टेक अमेरिकन्स, यू टेक ब्रिटिशर्स एंड यू पुट देम इन इंडिया, फक दे टू सॉफ्ट बिकॉज दे आर यूज्ड टू द गवर्नमेंट जस्ट हैंडिंग देम शिट.
That's
यहाँ
social
पे there's-
security का lack I was
correct,
talking
correct,
about.
and there are too many, but then that's not something the individual can handle.
No,
That's
no,
something-
I'm not saying.
yeah.
Look, you are right. The institutional problem exists, no
Correct.
doubt. The institutional problem has also gotten a lot better over the last 40 years. We also did.
That's also
right?
true. Correct, 100%.
Right. So what remains is the symptomatic feeling,
Yeah.
and the symptomatic feeling. So you recognize there is a disease now. You solve for the
100%.
symptoms.
I think moderation necessary है. I think सब जगह ये किया तो then you will just be
Moderation is
sad.
a virtue everywhere. Moderation is a virtue. Moderation is one of those points in a conversation that you can end any conversation with. Then nothing is
agree.
good or bad. सब कुछ moderate में ठीक है. Of course, बहनचोद. Right? तो वो तो
Agree.
आज तो भाई बिल्कुल हिंदी बोलने आया है, ठीक है. तो वो उसको डिसरिगार्ड करते हुए largely if Indians establish a better relationship with money, they will see things more clearly. This is my hypothesis.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I know this, but this is my hypothesis.
I think I get what you're saying. I'm just like I think I'm technically Indian, right? I am an Indian. I
भाई
agree
एक
with
मिनट
you.
रुक जा,
हाँ,
एक
बोल.
मिनट रुक जा, एक
Yeah.
मिनट रुक जा. भाई एक बंदा कह रहा है विवेक is much less stupider than he pretends. He's actually smart.
I didn't
You
know I
are
was
so
pretending to be
wrong.
stupid, यार.
You are so wrong, bro. You are so wrong. This is Vivek at his best, guys.
I was
Like you
not-
don't understand.
I
He's
was
trying
not
harder.
pretending to be stupid, यार. कोई नहीं चल.
भाई कौन सा टेस्ट है कल यार? डैशिंग डैश ऐसे डैशिंग है वो. मेरे को लगा डशिंग नाम से कोई है भाई नॉर्थ ईस्ट से.
हाँ.
ट्राई करना कि प्राइवेट ना. भाई प्राइवेट तो होगी ये स्ट्रीम.
I don't think
प्राइवेट तो
private
होगी,
होगी
रिकॉर्ड
यार.
कर लो. हाँ
हाँ कर लो रिकॉर्ड, बट फिर भी प्रखर तो कर ही रहा है. कर लो
हाँ
रिकॉर्ड.
भाई मैं तो रिकॉर्ड कर ही रहा हूँ. मेरे को तो एविडेंस चाहिए ना कोर्ट में. हाँ
Vivek is सस्ता Lex Friedman. Do I love Lex Friedman? I love his. That is my number one podcast right now. Rogan
मैं
is
तो
second.
सो जाता हूँ लेक्स फ्रीडमैन
मेरे को बहुत मजा आता है. The Daniel Negreanu podcast. It's like that is the podcast you want to actually learn about the field he's covering. I've
Bro,
never
मैं
seen.
ना-
हाँ.
आजकल पॉल ग्राहम बहुत सुन रहा हूँ. पॉल ग्राहम की बुक है हैकर्स एंड पेंटर्स.
Okay.
वो खत्म कर रहा हूँ आजकल. बाप बुक भाई मजे आ गए.
भाई तेरा बुक सबको मिल गया? कैसे है रिव्यूज? कैसे है? I read a few chapters. I liked it. But
भाई
again,
देख दो टाइप.
हाँ.
जिन लोगों ने एक्चुअली खरीदी है और पढ़ी है उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे रिव्यू दिए हैं.
Yeah.
फिर कुछ हैं चेले चपाटे जिन्होंने Amazon पे जाके कर दिया है क्योंकि उनको लग रहा है उससे नुकसान हो जाएगा.
But
उनको
don't.
नहीं
Okay.
पता.
1-star reviews तो चल ठीक है, spam है. But don't you think 3-star reviews, people who may not have liked it as much as they thought they would,
I
are
don't- मैं
within
तेरे को
their
बताता
rights?
हूँ क्या परसेंट. हाँ हाँ ऑफ कोर्स यार.
Yeah.
तो जिसको जो रिव्यू देने दो. बट अगर गलत रीजन की वजह से दे रहे हो तो तुम्हें नहीं पता पे कौन करेगा उसके लिए. मेरे को आज किसी ने भेजा था ये हमारे रिव्यूज.
For every bad review, Prakhar will add 5 lakh rupees to damages.
You don't understand. That is how it works.
To punitive damages. कि एक और 1 star review आया, मेरे को और पैसे दो.
That is literally how that works,
Yeah.
guys. लोगों को ना इंडिया में लीगल एजुकेशन की भी बहुत जरूरत है. ढूंढना पड़ेगा यार.
Yeah.
मिल नहीं रहा. बट ज्यादा 3 स्टार है नहीं. मेरे ख्याल से मेजॉरिटी 5 स्टार है या 1 स्टार है.
I feel like 1 star reviews in these situations now are very. Why would you buy the book? Because you know what you're getting. So if what you want from the creator is not what you're getting, then you still get 2-3 stars because कुछ तो perspective मिल रहा है. 1 star means कि the content itself is not for you. Then why you? It's very weird to see 1 star reviews on non.
No, they haven't even bought it, bro. They haven't even the 1 star
Oh.
reviews haven't even
Yeah.
bought it.
Got it.
हाँ.
Prakhar in India.
Bro, with
Yeah.
हाँ. नहीं पूछ ले क्वेश्चन पूछ ले.
नहीं किसी ने पूछा है प्रखर इन इंडिया वी मीट अ लॉट ऑफ पावरफुल पीपल इन एवरी वॉक ऑफ लाइफ हु ओपनली डू इंजस्टिस एंड इट मेक्स मी फील सो हेल्पलेस. तो थोड़ा एक स्पेसिफिक एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं तू? आई एम अज्यूमिंग ही मींस पॉलिटिक्स.
मैं देता हूँ स्पेसिफिक एग्जांपल भाई मेरे पास.
You ran there before I also get called as a witness. दिल्ली जा रहा मम्मी. बेटा कहाँ जा रहा है कल?
सवाल पूछा है. लॉब शॉट दिया है भाई ने. लॉब शॉट दिया है.
बेटा कहाँ जा रहा है कल दिल्ली? अरे गिग है बोला इन अ वे. परफॉर्म तो कर रहा हूँ.
Oh, bhai.
I don't like what is the question here though. I just feel it's like a statement. What's the question, MD Sharif? How can we?
Karan, I like how honest you are about what you feel. But we'll see, bro. We'll see how the time plays out. This is not. This is court. Mein there is no emotional battles. Court mein there is fact finding.
अच्छा मुझे
and on a fact level.
एक question पूछा तुझे, ठीक है? And you can just like because I'm curious about this and maybe I have the information wrong regarding this guy's question only. ठीक है? Now I've seen the last video you put out. ठीक है? This is not related to the case itself. It's just something you said कि this is what I would like to do if I want to settle. तूने you when you offered like when you gave Shwetab a way out, you said कि remove your videos and then you can go out. But Sandeep's way out involves him keeping his videos in. So what my confusion on this is both of them as per you are guilty of defamation. ठीक है? The case is equal on not equal but both of them are actually the same similar thing, which is making false statements regarding a criminal nature to you. But why is it that you want Sandeep's videos to stay because at least उसमें people are able to discern as per you the fact that इसमें falsehoods है and Shwetab के videos are actually hurting your reputation because दोनों चीजें तो same की है, तो why are you asking one to remove theirs and one to keep his? Unless it's a like. That's my question.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why I do not want any motion, or at least when I made the video, I did not want any movement from Sandeep about his videos is because he's infamous for removing, uploading. Like abhi Dashera pe he had posted something about me.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people in the chat saw that. And then he removed it again, even up until, because he realized that the public is not in his favor. Him, I don't trust, frankly.
Got it.
The reason why about the other thing with Shwetab is because one, Shwetab famously is going through hard times. Two, internally there was a communication happening there.
Yeah.
And I wanted it. This is not about him. He's the one who involved himself in this. This is about him only to the extent that he has said what he has said. If he can defend it in court, उसको वैसे भी टेंशन लेने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है.
Got it.
और कोर्ट बेवकूफ है नहीं कि किसी को बेमतलब डंडा मारेगी.
Yeah.
The way they've made the court to look, by the way, is shameful.
No, but
the courts are not stupid.
My question is, if let's say you lose this case or like the motion is dismissed, then is it
cannot be anymore. It has been admitted.
Okay. Then let's say the case is lost.
Case is lost.
Then is an individual within his rights to say कि okay, your motion was frivolous. Because you yourself are placing such trust in the court system.
If the court in the notice finds that the motion was frivolous,
Yeah.
which at this point it in any case is not. Now that
Theoretically.
Now that what has happened since we went to court, the motion's definitely not frivolous.
Okay.
Right? तुम उससे पहले remotely and court admitted the case before any of that happened. Before #SaveShwetab came about. So the court found it serious then. The court finds it serious now. The court wants a trial to happen, and this is the Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court's not stupid. By the way, as far as I know, and I may be wrong, don't quote me on this, the first time Gaurav Taneja went with a defamation suit, the court dismissed the appeal. The application. The court was like, this is not serious. So the court does that too. The court does not admit everything. Then he had to reapply, and then for whatever reason the case has continued since.
RKR बोल रहा है विवेक told I'm done with this topic at the beginning. Now milking one. भाई milking में तेरे को पता है honestly for me ना to bring this up is just risky. Because the fact is कि I'm not going to gain anything by taking either side. And जिसका भी side नहीं लिया if I sound biased in one side I'll get fucked. So I'm only bringing it up because something in the chat was of a similar nature and I thought it is something that should be asked. Other than this, I have no like personal or professional curiosity about the day-to-days of this. By trash
Look,
talk में ये हाँ बोला.
Here's what I will say, ठीक है? I am in a rather defenseless position. The reason is if I make any video defending myself,
Yeah.
I get 3 and on bad days 300 people make videos about me. I cannot defend myself. There's a lot of comments. Prakhar has been silent after Shwetab showed
Yeah.
proof. No, I'm not silent because his proof is conclusive or substantive.
Yeah.
It's because if I say anything, it restarts this. And I've wanted this to end for months, and it does not. That is why we went to court. Because the public cannot decide. The public has no information, and the public has no fact-finding authority. Right? So I'm left in a place where I go to court and I get smashed for that, which I anticipated that people will hate me for it. Or I don't go to court and risk somebody standing up anytime and saying whatever the hell they want.
MD
तो तुम चूज कर लो मैं क्या करूं.
MD Sharif is saying कि it's something political that happened with my family. अरे the previous super chat. Oh, that sucks. That sucks, man. Like, तेरे को पता है क्या? Honestly, I feel I have had a very lucky life, so I have not had to deal with anything like this since moving to India. But I know situations, even if it's as simple as like shops जिनका zoning restriction की वजह से पूरा तोड़ा, like entire shops are being broken down and there's nothing they can do. Legally they may be in the right, but because the corporator has money and power, they're fucked. So I've seen instances like this all the way going up. So it is
And the reason why I said what I just said before is I'm now talking about this, and I'm talking about this very carefully to whatever extent.
Yeah.
I've chosen not to speak about this up until, and I do not want to largely speak about it. मतलब मैं कैसे बोलूं? I request the other parties to not make this an issue. क्योंकि मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा. For days I would wake up every morning afraid to look at my phone कि आज फिर कुछ पोस्ट हुआ होगा, आज फिर कोई बवाल खड़ा हुआ होगा. राइट और मैं यहाँ मुंह खोल दूंगा ना कुछ भी, जैसे मैंने इतना भी बोल दिया ना, कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है, कल इस पे 25 बातें बनी.
तो करेगा तो बता देना, मैं मेरा जस्ट स्क्रीन ऑफ करता हूँ. एक सेकंड. हाँ तू कुछ बोल रहा था. हाँ बोल.
नो नहीं, मैं आगे कुछ नहीं बोल रहा था. मैं यहाँ पे एक बहुत जेन्युइन रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ कि बॉस, द रीजन वी वेंट टू कोर्ट इज सो वी कैन सॉर्ट दिस आउट इन द कोर्ट, नॉट इन पब्लिक. डोंट मेक दिस मोर पब्लिक. It has already gotten involved to a point where everything is disgraced. Everybody's lost something. Now shut up and just handle this in court like proper men do.
I don't. Okay, that last sentence makes sense. But women also can do it in court.
Well, in this
Hashtag
case, people involved
equality.
are men.
Okay.
In this case, people involved are men. That is why.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. भाई मेरे को एक चीज I have strong opinions on one thing which is not related to your thing. I think vapes are banned in India, ठीक है? Which is good. But they're not being enforced, and the thing is they're fucking targeted towards kids. There's just some brand, Uoto कुछ तो करके, and the fucking flavors are like there's a mint and blueberry flavor. First of all, everyone has a vape now. We all have one friend who has quit smoking and is now vaping. I'm not trying to change the topic necessarily, but this has been in my head for a while, and I don't know how to get it out.
वेब दिखा रहा था भाई.
vape. I don't know how to get this out because meko, the thing is now I recently saw someone who's I saw a 15-16-year-old in my society with a vape. And वही था, but like they're fucking marketing to kids. How illegal is that? See, I think once you're an adult, like, you should be allowed to do what you want. But the fact is these guys are literally marketing to kids. तू मुझे बता, bubble gum and mint flavor किसके लिए marketed है? Is it marketed for 35-year-old uncle working in IT company? No, ना.
बहन जो 35 ईयर के ना अंकल नहीं होते, ठीक है? तन्मय को बोल के देखियो.
Whatever, 45, 55-year-old uncle यार जो भी है. I think you can be a 28-year-old uncle. I think you can be a 40-year-old like guy. Depends on how you are like. What तुम समझ में क्या बोल रहा है यार? तू कहाँ topic?
हाँ, of course यार, bro. And
it's fucking
honestly,
egregious.
I know. I mean, I don't know how vapes are operating out of India. But like they are a very questionable technology, bro. Like, and the regulation is just off. Like,
I think adults should be allowed to have vapes. I think the way to solve it is just don't allow them to have certain flavors.
एक भाई कह रहा है सीताफल फ्लेवर भी है.
हाँ यार, अबे मतलब funny है.
Naturals की आइसक्रीम के नीचे बेच दो भाई. हाँ.
It's funny until you see like your younger brother or someone fucking vaping. Then it's an issue. You know what I mean? It is. I'm just shocked that this is just to like the reason I'm saying this is because ऊपर बोला ना कि powerful person वाला. I just feel someone's being paid off here. There's no way they're able to so efficiently to think about it, na. Like how the
Vaping is probably the least place where people are being paid off. Vivek.
I don't know. It's illegal technically in India. Technically it's illegal. So the fact that they're able to sell it so notoriously, मतलब you can go anywhere and buy it. तो समझ रहा है?
भाई एक भाई कह रहा है संतरी पी लो. हाँ भाई संतरी पिला दे. संतरी पिला दे भाई.
It's like proper fucking
Bro, okay, some
market
reasonable
locations.
question. Prakhar, how is the new place? Let me see if I can show you some of this outside.
Yeah.
These are my views right
Tu
now.
you're in Brooklyn now. Where have you shifted?
No,
Oh,
not
that's
Brooklyn.
sick, dude.
No. I know, bro.
Can
The
you
entire
tell us
Manhattan
the
skyline.
Manhattan में तू?
No, I'm not in Manhattan. I'm across the river from Manhattan.
Got it.
In Queens. In Queens somewhere.
Queens, got it.
But it's bloody gorgeous. Matlab this is the first time I've lived in a place in New York where I've liked living. Like where it does not feel like a shoebox. It's a huge spot, brilliant views, park, dogs, kids outside, you know. Like ऐसा नहीं लगता कि सिर्फ hustle है सिर्फ life में और just bloody gorgeous. It's been so much fun. और हमने इसको पूरे को we've sort of converted this into a studio space. You can see the lights behind और भी सब
कितने
चीजें
लोग
नहीं
रहते
होती
हैं,
हैं. एक. There's 2 people.
Okay, so 2 BHK, 1 BHK. 2 BHK.
BHK.
Fuck man, you must be really spending, dude. Queens, 2 BHK. Rent तो crazy रहेगा.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that
Really?
bad. I found some of the most sweet deals.
Can you share
ever.
the rent?
No.
Can you give a rough idea of the rent?
Not. I'll tell you in private.
हाँ
not
ठीक
in
है
public.
समझा ठीक है.
I don't want to talk about all of this in public. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I mean, I think ठीक है यार मतलब good you're saving money. Lawyer को भी देना पड़ता है तो it makes sense.
नहीं लॉयर के लिए थे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. हमने बहुत पैसे बनाए भाई. हमने बहुत पैसे बनाए YouTube में.
But yeah, guys, just like this is going to be used against you as evidence actually when you say ना कि these are my damages. और meanwhile ऐसे ऊपर कोर्ट में प्ले हो रहा है. अरे हमने तो बहुत पैसे कमा लिया YouTube पे. This is going to be used
तो
against.
उसी के तो डैमेजेस हैं. इस साल नहीं कमाए ना, पिछले साल कमाए थे.
Okay. बताओ मेरा रेंट बताया नहीं लॉल. विवेक, you're the third YouTuber, Indian YouTuber as well as Suhani and Anish. What? You're the third Indian YouTuber I subscribe to after Suhani and Anish Nayak. ये कहाँ से कहाँ आ गया bro? This dude is a roller coaster event like Suhani, Anish Nayak, ऊपर वाला विवेक. You know who Anish Nayak is?
Anish Nayak is a chess streamer as far as I know.
Yeah. That's like the wildest sentence I've seen in my life. I don't know if this is like he's kidding or he's serious, but assuming let's assume. And समय नहीं है. So he discovered Suhani, that's fine. Then he discovered Anish Nayak. See, how do you get from Suhani to Anish Nayak without going through either a Samay or B-Stats or me? That's insane. मतलब मेरे को I just really want to know his YouTube chain कि वो पहुंचा कैसे वहाँ तक.
एक मिनट रुक, मेरे को पीछे से कॉल आ रहा है. I have to see if I had some schedule.
It's like if I subscribe to Dave Chappelle and then see the Akash Singh without going to Andrew Schultz, or like Joe Rogan and I asked to see the Akash Singh but I have no idea who Andrew Schultz is. This is like that. Sorry, this guy's question was, I still think it's like a joke account. I think he's kidding, but if you're serious, who's this other guy? I've seen him before. Ask him if he has ever been to Europe. पूछ लिया तेरे को.
Have I ever been to Europe?
Yeah.
As a kid, yeah. When I was younger, I've been to Europe. The last time I was in Europe was 2015, I think. 2013, 2015, 2008. And since then, have I stopped in Europe? I have stopped over a few times, but I've not been inside Europe for a while.
Abhiraj Mitra, I can't read that. But a lot of people, like a lot of Uber drivers have found me from that. A lot of Uber drivers are like, "Yeah, आपको किधर तो देखा है मैंने." Like, yeah, I know what video also you watched. Dude, I'm not kidding. It's like that video ना is like, इसे मैं mute कर रहा हूँ.
Bro, Rajat बार-बार कह रहा है, huge fan. Thank you so much, मेरे भाई. Respect, share gang.
Can you share your views on phone addiction? How to get rid of it? Why do people think like you have all the answers, right? Because if you not have,
it's my mustache, bro.
Have you ever had phone addiction? Because how
What counts as phone addiction? Never
that's
really.
a good
Maybe as a
question,
kid,
actually.
2013, 14, briefly, very briefly. Like my interest was always like up to mera phone usage per day is like less than an hour, so I'm very happy. I never look at my phone.
Wow.
Um,
Less than an hour. Huh?
Less than an hour, and all thanks to only a few men that we all know. But
Nice, okay, वैसे.
before that,
I thought you were just like
before-
making better choices, but continue.
no, you automatically end up making better choices when things get tough, bro. There is no other way.
Yeah.
But I think the most I've ever like remember, जैसे वो आता है ना जैसे screen statistics, तो 4-5 hours तक गया है मेरा phone usage day का. वो रात को Instagram पे.
Got it. Okay, हाँ चल ये बता मेरे को. So now you said Lex Friedman तेको मतलब you don't enjoy his podcast. What podcast?
No,
do
I
you-
haven't much heard Lex
Which ones have
Friedman
you
in a
seen?
while. Maybe like many years ago.
Please
bro.
watch
Like
the
when he was
Daniel
initially
Negreanu one.
starting.
Wow, you got Daniel Negreanu one is superb. Daniel Negreanu won the Magnus Carlsen one. He did one on Hikaru recently. And like chess का मेरे को थोड़ा middling understanding है. but-
Hikaru वाला आ गया बाहर.
हाँ.
I know that he went to do it and he almost क्योंकि I watch Hikaru, I watch religiously. Every video of Hikaru on YouTube I've seen. All of them.
Got it.
ठीक है, so he was like, oh, I was in Austin recording it with and then he stopped. So I knew he'd done it with Lex Friedman. I just did not know if that had come out.
Hikaru and Prakhar have a lot of similarities. You are like confident. You win chess tournaments and you both send Indian YouTubers legal notice. No, it's the other way
उसने
around.
किसको भेजा है?
उसको मिला. No, he sent. No, copyright.
Wait,
joke doesn't
Hikaru
work.
also sent
The joke
legal
doesn't work.
notices?
No, copyright.
I didn't send any.
Copyright. Yeah. Joke doesn't
By
work.
the way, I didn't send no notices.
Got it.
So
I just
you
wanted
are also
to.
wrong
The
about that.
joke was almost there. I should have mentioned YouTube strikes.
That is
Then
why
I
you're a
would have-
substandard performer.
Then I said YouTube
Because
viewers.
you're almost there but never
Yeah.
quite. Somebody's asking, does IQ determine how successful a person becomes in life? To a great degree. The highest correlation that you find is between IQ and success, but there could be some methodological issues with that. Largely, that is supported science. एक है, you are busy filing cases, so obviously एक बार फाइल करना होता है, 4 बार नहीं करना होता भाई. बहुत फनी हो तुम भी, विवेक की तरह लाइन में लग लो.
Thank you.
भाई की लाइफ रंगीन है इसलिए कम यूजेज ऑफ मोबाइल, हमारी बोरिंग है तो मोबाइल ही सब कुछ है. हाँ तो वही तो इंटरेस्टिंग बनाओ, तभी तो प्रखर के प्रवचन फॉलो करना है. Do you think your YouTuber friends went to Sandeep's podcast would affect you, Prakhar? No, bro. मेरा like from the get, my initial was like, जिसको जो करना है करो यार. Like this is not how this works.
Yeah.
I have
I
no
think it's-
complaints. I've been asked several times about Sohani. I have nothing against Sohani. Do exactly how you like, bro. उसका
No,
career है.
Suhani
बहन
kill
चो,
कर
मैं
दिया.
कौन हूँ?
Why Suhani na, like Suhani going to these platforms na makes it better for the whole scene, because there are very few magicians actually who people know in India. People know David Blaine, Dynamo, ये वो. Every time Suhani does something good na, and a client wants to book her but she's not free or the budget is too much, then that means तेरे भाई को gig मिलता है. So I am like, go kill कर Suhani और kill कर, increase the budget even more, please. I genuinely think so. I think in a field like Magic na, any
Bro, I respect your self-esteem, bro. It is
it's
so
not- it's-
tempered.
no,
It
it's-
is so
yeah,
measured.
It is, of course. What's wrong with that, यार?
तेरे को जरूरत ही नहीं है कॉन्फिडेंट होने की, क्योंकि तू अपनी सेमी
Confidence
कॉन्फिडेंट
की बात
स्टेट
नहीं,
में बहुत खुश
no,
है.
one second. I'm very confident that my happiness doesn't depend on me being 1, 2 or 3. As long as I am doing well in my work and I'm able to buy the things I want and enjoy life the way I want, I am very happy. मेरा सेल्फ एस्टीम बिल्कुल भी टाइट नहीं है मेरे
सोहानी
मैजिक के
प्लीज और
सक्सेस
काम करना, मेरे को तेरे रिजेक्टेड शोज मिलेंगे सोहानी.
बढ़िया.
please,
क्या
जा,
प्रॉब्लम है
please,
भाई?
सोहानी.
क्या प्रॉब्लम है भाई उसमें? क्या प्रॉब्लम है उसमें?
Nice, bro,
Everyone needs a platform. Right? There's nothing wrong with it.
Everybody needs a platform.
Everyone needs a
तो
platform.
इसीलिए मेरे को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है सोहानी से.
देखो
because
सुहानी ने
bro.
शोज जो कैंसिल किए ना, उससे
हाँ.
ये 2 कैमरा थे पहले, अभी तीसरा वाला आ गया. I should just be
यार,
an
अब तुम
iPhone guy, now
कैसे
I'm pro
बोल
guy.
सकते हो भाई? तुम कैसे बोल सकते हो कि भाई किसी को प्रॉब्लम होगी सोहानी की कुछ करने से, ब्रो? Nora Fatehi and Sohani are the 2 reasons Vivek makes money, bro.
Also the Abhishek Uppanu video. That's the third one. And COB, 4th one.
This Nora Fatehi guy is so funny. Oh.
Okay, अभी मेरे को बता. So have you seen Full Send podcast?
I've heard of Full Send.
Have you
Who's Full
seen
Send?
Flagrant तो देखा है ना तूने?
Flagrant देखा है?
Impulsive, the Logan Paul one.
Impulsive
आजकल
भी देखा है,
podcast में बहुत घुस गया है. Recommendation is like you watch one
Bro,
accident.
तूने देखा इंडिया में खत्म हो गए पॉडकास्ट. इंडिया में बचे नहीं ज्यादा पॉडकास्ट.
दोस्त करा ना, विदाउट करा ना दोस्त.
विनम्र का तो फट रहा है, ब्रो.
Couple of
रोक नहीं सकता.
I'll suggest a couple of good actually. There's one called Dostcast तो है. तो I mean everyone knows here, but you should, if you don't know, you should check it out.
Dostcast team,
Dostcast
show
is
it in
nice.
the chat, baby.
Dostcast is
Faridabad supremacy.
Then there's this one podcast actually. मैं एक काम करता हूँ. I'll just if I can find it. Now I haven't watched the full podcast. I don't endorse any of the views because these guys say some like very crazy wild shit. So I'm not endorsing any of the views in this. ठीक है? But the
On what?
structure. Untriggered करके एक podcast है. In fact, if you come to Pune ना, so there's these guys in Pune who just randomly started a
Oh,
podcast.
they did one with Kunal, and Kunal was talking about me on that.
Yeah,
Somebody
so I'm
sent
going
me
to
that
just
clip.
spin this video for a bit.
Did you do one with them?
So the thing is, I'll tell you what happened. Okay, no one told me. So this was before they weren't blown up yet, but this was before they got much better talent. So Sahil Kale, you know Sahil, right? Was doing a podcast, and Sahil didn't tell me he's inviting me to do a podcast. He just told me कि chill करने बुला रहा है. किधर तो?
Sahil उसमें podcast में host है?
No, he was just talking. Like these guys, what I like about their format is they're also not like कि तेरे subscribers तो दुआ. They're done with like mixologists के साथ किया उन्होंने. They're done with doctors. It's cool. It's very like full set type ही. It's like बच्चे लोग ऐसे like दोस्त लोग बैठ के chill कर रहे हैं. I won't say flagrant जैसे, but flagrant is like very funny. I don't know if it's necessarily funny, but still मतलब it's like the friends hanging out chilling. So Sahil had called me and I thought कैसे chill करने जा रहे हैं किधर तो, and मैं आया वहाँ पे podcast setup है, मैं लगा ये क्या हो रहा है. So I didn't know it was a podcast. It was a horrible, like I was there for like half an hour. I fucked up because I had some work and they also didn't use the episode ये वो. So at some point I'll do one more with them. But just generally कि पुणे में it's a good thing I feel कि more creators are coming up and this kind of format not many people are doing. तो comments पे लिख लो कुछ तो ऐसे विवेक या whatever, right? Good for them मतलब. I know
I saw that.
also,
I've seen only one clip. I didn't know this podcast existed until somebody sent me this clip recently of Kunal talking about the whole issue.
Yeah.
And I was laughing. Kunal's like, हाँ यार कर लो यार जो करना है यार कर लो यार. And I was like, लो भाई बढ़िया है.
तो go like जाके comment कर लो वहाँ पे, whatever you can, subscribe भी कर लो. More creators in India, better it is. And actually more creators in Pune. I am very selfish. I just wanted to be like you shouldn't have to go to Bombay for everything. मैं हूँ Bombay का, but it's just exhausting रहे हाईवे पे 4 घंटे जाना हर बार कुछ होता है. It's good to have
तुम पता है तुम basically तुम बॉम्बे का फरीदाबाद हो but 4 गुना दूर.
No यहाँ पे crimes भी कम है और weather भी better है.
नहीं ब्रो, क्राइम्स का तो क्या है, हमारे यहाँ क्राइम तो तब होगा ना जब लॉ एंड ऑर्डर होगा. हमारे यहाँ तो कोर्ट में भी क्राइम हो जाते हैं फरीदाबाद में. तो
वो तो क्रेजी है भाई. वो तो
भाई फरीदाबाद में तो कहीं पे भी कुछ भी हो सकता है भाई. फरीदाबाद का दिमाग खराब है. एज अ सिटी फरीदाबाद का दिमाग खराब है.
एक सेकंड खुला क्या है? Is it opening? Is the link correct first of all? Chat, is the link correct or is it fuck?
इन्होंने विवेक का चेहरा देख के हटा दिया पॉडकास्ट ही पूरा.
Funny.
डबल टोस्टेड. आई लुक इनटू डबल टोस्टेड.
लिंक वर्किंग है चैट? सो अच्छी बात है मतलब. करेक्टली. ओके सॉर्टेड. तो जाके कर लो सब्सक्राइब कमेंट भी कर लो कुछ एंड होपफुली they'll get more. I don't know. One thing I respect, I mean, I don't know if the right word is respect, because when you have nothing to lose, you can talk crazy shit. And these guys talk crazy shit. Some of the shit they talk about, like, कि तुम लोग को future में problem होने वाला है. When you do get brand deals, you're going to get a massive, like, and from the left, they do like right wing. I don't think, I've not seen enough, but I've seen some shit I've seen there where like ये अभी चलेगा when people don't know. Once if you blow up, then please be ready because this is a lot of the shit.
Guys, blow up however you want. Don't blow up in the way I blew up. That is not preferred.
Okay. गुड़गांव के है फरीदाबाद सुपरमेसी कैसे सपोर्ट कर ले. बढ़िया. ये भी एक सीन है ना, लाइक गुड़गांव फरीदाबाद राइवलरी है क्या?
भाई राइवलरी का कोई स्कोप तो है नहीं. गुड़गांव ऑब्वियसली बेटर है. हाँ. Let us be real. But फरीदाबाद वाइल्डर है.
Yeah, I mean, I heard Sahil Tikku is in Faridabad, so that automatically gives Faridabad.
But Sahil Tikku is in the edge of Faridabad. So Sahil Tikku can be wild in Delhi, he can be wild in Gurgaon, he can be wild in Faridabad. Deep Faridabad की बात कर रहे हैं भाई. Deep Faridabad.
I'm doing masters in data science and advanced machine learning right now, and I have future plans for PhD at MIT USA. Ask Prakhar if it's a good idea between all this recession thing going on.
I don't think what you are doing will ever be out of jobs.
Yeah. Agreed.
Data science, ML, bro, this is only going to scale. So, and you are probably, where are you doing this from? MIT, bro. तू MIT में भाई. यही तो यार लोगों तू MIT में है भाई.
इतना पहुंचा हुआ बंदा इधर क्या कर रहा है?
MIT में है भाई. ये यहाँ MIT जहाँ दिखता नहीं है वहाँ MIT भाई. मौज कर. तू ढंग से पढ़, दिल लगा के. तेरे को कैंपस पे ही तेरे को 50 अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल जाएंगी. भाई पलवल के नाम है भाई. हम पलवल में मौज चला है.
पलवल क्या है?
यहाँ ना चला है मौज. हाँ
पलवल क्या है?
ओए चल स्ट्रीम ऑफ कर. चल बेंचो.
अरे व्हाट इज इट? बोला
नहीं ओए स्ट्रीम ऑफ करो भाई.
इट्स एरिया. व्हाट इज इट? बोला
भाई ये कैसा आदमी है? ओए चैट इसको बताओ यार कैसी उल्टी बातें कर रहा है. पलवल के बारे में पूछ रहा है भाई. तू पलवल के बारे में मत पूछ, तेरे पे भी केस वेस हो जाएगा.
आई डोंट नो व्हाट दैट इज. MIT पुणे बोल रहा है क्या?
अबे भाई MIT यूएस लिखा है. अब मैं उम्मीद कर रहा हूँ मैस इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी है भाई. मणिपाल नहीं है भाई.
दिल्ली का
फ्यूचर प्लान है क्या उसका? फ्यूचर प्लान है क्या? आई एम डूइंग मास्टर्स इन डेटा साइंस राइट नाउ, फ्यूचर प्लान फॉर अच्छा फ्यूचर प्लान है. हाँ भाई, अगर तू if you get MIT on your resume, getting a job, no matter how bad the market is, should not be too tough.
Yeah.
Although the recession, depending on how heavy it comes, can sort of swing things in the other direction, but I really don't think it'll be that bad.
What? Because I was reading some Forbes articles and all about this. Like recession आएगा भी तो it'll be, they're saying it's going to be second half of 2023 is when it's going to really hit. But is it like, I was in US during the 2007 का recession and I remember मतलब what happened. My dad was in IT, so he wasn't laid off. But like I saw the amount of, especially if you're in the finance sector, right, you are fucked. So what is the finance sector of this recession? Because last time it was mortgages.
Pro IT.
IT निकलेगा अभी.
In the sense that layoffs maximum IT में होंगे. जो fluff jobs है ना IT में.
Yeah. HRs क्या जाएगा?
HRs भी नहीं, HRs भी जाएंगे. वो भी I'm not an expert to comment on this, so please don't take me too seriously here. But my guess
no
is
one does, huh?
there is that is also true. There is a large sort of job situation जहाँ पे बहुत सारे immigrants, not just immigrants but even Americans have acquired jobs where there is no real work. It's like one job being handled by 5 people, and initially the first 2 will get cut, and then उसके बाद real bloodbath will begin अगर होगा तो. But it, like, honestly, it seems like India is more worried about an American recession than America, because I don't hear about it often enough here. Nobody talks about that here. I'd never catch it on the
because
internet.
dollar का value is increasing. I think that's one reason. It's other
As long
countries
as-
are getting the short end of the stick. Like यही iPhone मेरे को 82,000 मिला था last year. Anyways, I think someone saying edtech is not a big enough field to cause a global recession. Like, so just I'll give a very
Last
quick,
time the financial crisis of 2008 is more than a recession.
Yeah, it was
That is a
something.
scam being
So,
uncovered.
let me
that sort of
explain what
dented the
happened.
walls.
Let me explain what happened in the 2000.
तू कर explain, मैं एक मिनट पानी लेके आ रहा हूँ.
लेके आ जा पानी. मैं एकदम ऐसे बेस लेवल एक्सप्लेनेशन देता हूँ. I don't think इससे. अरे तू वीडियो क्यों म्यूट? अबे यार. अबे तेरा वीडियो ऑन कर यार. मेरा अभी मूव स्प्लिट हो गया. इसके आने तक मैं नहीं दूंगा एक्सप्लेनेशन. आने दो फिर.
अच्छा लग रहा है भाई तेरा मुंह ऐसे.
नहीं तू वापस आ.
At least तेरी एक आंख तो नहीं दिख रही ना.
This is crazy. This is the frame.
It is so funny that you look prettier like this than you normally
अरे
do.
यार, dude, my best angle is the one with least visibility. Big Shot हमने भी देखी है. Big Shot is just one example of it. There's actually another movie called Margin Call. You can check out. It's very good. Margin Call is really good. But नहीं, I'm not talking about Big Shot and Margin Call. I थोड़ा पढ़ा था इसके बारे में मैंने. तो जिन्होंने नहीं देखा उनको बता सकते हम लोग. Credit stress will cause the recession. Layoffs in EdTech, I mean. But that's not enough to cause a recession. That will happen. But I'm saying what will be the biggest domino to fall? I think Kevin Spacey it was like Jeremy Irons was the real star of Margin Call. He was like superb in that movie. What were you doing in US? I was just like a kid. पढ़ाई कर रहा था मैं. बच्चा था. Camera off, best angle, nice. Don't forget to like the stream बोलता है Abdul 7. हाँ यार. YouTube मेरा dead तो हो गया पहले से compared, especially for live streaming.
हाँ, YouTube live streams have gone down.
They have, right? Like they've markedly gone down.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Very,
I mean,
very evidently.
for specific like events ना, like अगर समझ अभी ये हो रहा है, like the aim chess is going on, right? So that's different because people will tune in to watch that specifically. But as a whole, it just seems like live streams are not being pushed at all by YouTube. Like almost everyone I know, मैं देख रहा हूँ reach down है. I can understand because I feel like IRL भी वैसे ही चल रहा है. Like I'm getting less time to spend on YouTube. I think that's the same for most people also. तो but हाँ down reach तो down है. Bro, तेरा accent क्यों नहीं है फिर? कि मेरे को आके बहुत साल हो गया ना, and I never like I don't think US accent.
भाई वो 2 साल सड़कों पे भी तो भागा है रामपुरी लेके यहाँ से.
I don't think
तो वो टायर पे डंडा मार के टायर के पीछे भागा है काफी दिन. मैंने देखा ऐसे करते हुए यार ये पुणे में.
ये बोल रहा है विकास वर्मा एप्पल के में 3 million watching. Again, that's an outlier. That's not the standard. I'm talking about more like कि चल मैं chill कर रहा हूँ बैठ के बकचोदी कर रहा हूँ.
इसीलिए लोगों को स्टैटिस्टिक्स की एजुकेशन की भी जरूरत है. Statistically चीजें समझ पाना.
I feel what you know what I love about Prakhar is he can make one guy saying stupid shit into an entire class's statement. एक बंदा कुछ बोलेगा बोलेगा ये इन चूते में.
No, I'm not talking about a class. I'm talking about a population. So it's a populist statement if at all.
Got it. I show speed has 100.
I think Vivek, you need education on vocabulary and conceptual terminology also.
Yes, thank you.
One stupid guy saying stupid things.
I feel like it is my freedom of speech to say stupid things. I think I have that right. Constitutional right है मेरे पास. बकवास करने का.
Stupid things you can say. Stupid things are no problem.
Not untrue things. Currently, gas and oil prices are almost 6 times. So after masters, it will be financially hard to afford MIT without more than 70% scholarship. Bro, Swiss musician का तो अलग ही लाइफ प्लानिंग चल रहा है. यहाँ पे मैंने इतना नहीं किया है जितना ये सोच रहा है.
भाई ये जो तूने ऑयल और गैस प्राइसेस से अपने ट्यूशन को रिलेट किया ना भाई, रिस्पेक्ट. तू पता है क्या कर, तू नौकरी अभी तू धंधा शुरू कर दे, तू आगे जाएगा. तू छोड़ ये सब भाई, MIT UMIT. तू वैसे ही बहुत स्मार्ट है, MIT में कुछ नहीं बता सकते तेरे को नया ये लोग.
Wild, bro. Don't. So.
No, USA does not have a classism problem. They have a racism problem here. India has a classism problem.
I feel US. What is the number one problem in US?
Number one problem in the United States?
Yeah.
Depends on who you are. For me, it's healthcare.
I think healthcare is one, but more than healthcare, as someone who's from the outside, and I've spoken to like people also there who are living there, most people it's guns, man. Because I'm like, you know what, you want to have a pistol, तुम्हारा constitutional right है, okay. I don't understand why anyone is allowed to buy assault rifles. I can't understand I can't understand at all. I can still buy the guns का self defense वाला argument if it's for pistols. But if you give the wrong person a fucking assault rifle, he's going to shoot 100 people. At least the gun, there's some reloading going on. Like Chris Rock का एक बहुत ही बढ़िया set है. So he has this joke where he says कि people say that guns don't kill people. People do. Right? So like if I have a knife, I can kill a person also. But he's like, if a gun, if you with a assault rifle, if you kill 100 people, then there are 100 unlucky people who were there. But if you kill 100 people with a knife, that means 99 people deserve to die. Because after this saw the first guy getting stabbed, बाकी लोग बैठ के क्यों खड़े थे? It's a very funny set and it sells the point कि like I don't get it, मतलब it's so bizarre. It's like the worst example of politicians just being sold for money. The fact कि assault rifles पे ban नहीं है. There's no, I can't understand it. कि there should be.
Somebody's like Prakhar is from Faridabad, so guns should be a problem for him, I guess.
वो तो कट्टा है ना, वो तो एक ऐसे पिस्टल है ना, वो चलेगा.
New York has no guns. यहाँ पे the reason why I did not say gun laws is वो state उस पे होता है ना. यहाँ पे like New York you cannot own a gun.
No, but like the problem is the access. The fact that you can own it, like let's say I go to Arkansas or I go to Mississippi. वहाँ पे तो I can go into like most gun shops and base level qualification I can buy an assault rifle. How difficult is it really to get that assault rifle to New York? Think about it.
No, I see what you're.
You know what I mean? It's like it's way easier. It's in the
South
access.
Carolina, North Carolina
Correct.
से कहीं से भी ला सकते हो.
And
Right.
let's say you live in North Carolina. Not everyone lives in New York. I think it's just like मेरे को assault rifles का समझता ही नहीं है. Like I have not seen one other than
भाई
the
तेरे को
fact.
पता है तू दुकानों में खरीद सकता है ऐसे
हाँ,
जाके स्टोर्स में वॉलमार्ट में खरीद सकता है तू यहाँ पे. भाई
Correct.
क्रेजी है ये लोग, इन लोगों का दिमाग सीधा नहीं है भाई.
Wild, and I think that one reason is what makes me think I'd rather live in India than US. I swear to God.
That's it.
That no, there are other things also, but I think other things in India, if you are making above average income, your standard of living is better because you don't have to actually do any labor. You don't have to clean, nothing you have to do. But I think US, if you're making the same amount of money, it's a more grindy life. You have to be like really rich in US to be rich.
Yeah. In ways,
Yeah.
like at least you have to do your basic shit. The labor is expensive. But
Correct.
what I discovered living in the US is that जो systems है ना to do all of that have been made so simple with product and technology.
Yeah.
It's really not that big a deal.
Sure. I think the best
Like, it
example of that is
doesn't take too
Tokyo.
much
Though.
time.
I think Japan would be a good example of that, where a lot of shit is automated. Everything almost.
The only reason why I stop at what you were saying earlier is मेरे को नहीं पता मैं नौकर culture कैसे digest करूँ. Like मेरे को I don't know in my soul how to digest the fact that we have servants in India.
I don't think they're not servants. They're employees.
Bro, I'm
They're
not
freelance
speaking for
employees.
you and I.
Oh, okay.
I'm not speaking for you and I. Like you and I can call them domestic helps, la 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 la.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the large majority of India, and the like
No,
it's
but
not like we
it's
don't
not like
have-
that's not there in US now. You just have to pay more. That's
Exactly.
like
And
that's
but no, but the quotient of respect there is also very different.
okay, and that's the issue.
they're
Then. It's not the
treated-
fact that the
You know,
access
like
is there.
you can find enough places where if you are a so and so, you are not allowed to enter the house. You're not allowed to sit on the sofa. You're
That's
not allowed to
stupid.
eat from the same plates.
Yeah,
And then you begin to wonder, oh my god, bro.
That's
Like,
wrong. Bro, my mate and I तो have chai. Like I ordered chai in the morning every day. So मेरा मस्त chai उसका आता है mint अदरक chai. And I always leave one like this like आपका जब हो जाएगा जैसे I have tea, she's fucking chilling in the hall, having tea and all that. So I don't like I know what you're saying though, but I am like an isolated incident. right?
Yeah, largely
Samay
the
has dinner.
situation.
Samay has lunch and dinner with his mate. We went to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we were in Bombay. We were having so it's like,
Right. No, I know exactly what you mean. I am very like चल छोड़ मैं अपनी क्या बात करूं इसमें but there are ये outlier situation है जो median situation है इसमें बहुत off है. I don't know how to make peace with that.
CFC Blues वही जोक था क्या BT है यार. I'm in
हाँ,
Columbia Unit 2. Want to meet Prakhar if he's in. तब तो हो गया
मैं
graduated ना.
graduated boss. हो गया मैं graduate.
समय डाउन टू अर्थ लिख रहा है भाई. I feel very bad in this culture. बिना बात का क्या privilege है. You know what? But so I have a question. Like, okay, so US में fundamentals are more expensive than India. In India, luxury goods are more expensive. Like you said, healthcare, right? So like US में there's a serious issue of drugs being trademarked, which is not really there in India. India में most medication is severely cheaper than US. Like if you look at
Incredibly cheaper. Not
Yeah.
severely.
Yeah,
The word
it's
is
not
just
even close.
astoundingly cheaper. हाँ हाँ.
It's not
Different
even
universe
close.
altogether. हाँ.
मतलब if you look at like paracetamol, ठीक है? Paracetamol is not like if there are 10 brands who have 10 variations of it. But certain compositions of paracetamol are trademarked in US where only one brand can sell it. So अगर तेरे को acute tooth pain के लिए तेरे को दवाई चाहिए, that you're looking at fucking $8 a pill. $8 a pill. Because it has itna percentage of paracetamol and itna percentage of this and itna percentage of this, and that is trademarked by one company. Let's say for the sake of this, let's say Pfizer. It's insane. So that's another issue. So it is genuinely like one bad week can just take out a chunk of your savings in US. Tougher for that to happen in India.
No, यहाँ पे like the other thing is healthcare is messed up here. That's why I said healthcare, but
Yeah.
insurance generally covers most of it.
Sure, for sure. I'm just giving an example of, let's say you're uninsured, or let's say insurance does not cover this specific thing. Then in that case, whether The Rock will run for president, what do you guys think? He might win also. That's the other thing with US, कि कोई भी जीत सकता है. It's actually cool in a way.
Yeah. Like I cannot wait for Logan Paul to become
I want to see
president.
Mr.
one day.
Beast versus Rock.
Logan Paul for president, bro. That'd be so crazy.
You think he'll run Republican?
Logan Paul, yeah. He would not fit in the democratic framework. The democratic framework is too like walk the line.
Even Tulsi Gabbard, I think this is getting like extremely like niche. Now. I
American.
don't think most people will understand this. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
thing is,
totally.
I find American politics a lot more fascinating than Indian politics. Indian politics is just depressing. Even US politics is depressing, but US politics is depressing in a way where you can at least discuss stuff. You know what the thing is?
No. So Indian politics is convenient in the sense that there is no real sides.
Yeah,
Suppose
there
मैं
is no
जीत रहा हूँ,
sides.
मैं X लेता हूँ, तो तू नेगेटिव X ले लेगा.
Correct,
जो भी
correct.
मैं हूँ, तू उसका उल्टा है.
Correct.
ठीक है? यहाँ पे कोई वो नहीं है इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स में. अमेरिकन पॉलिटिक्स रियलिटी टीवी शो है.
Yeah.
तो वो परफॉर्म्ड है और वो डिस्ट्रैक्टिंग है और वो कॉन्टिन्यूसली एंगेजिंग है. वो लिविंग रूम कॉन्वर्सेशन है. बट मेरे को तो अमेरिकन पॉलिटिक्स बिल्कुल नहीं झिलती. मैंने बहुत झेली है और मैं बहुत इन्वॉल्व रहा हूँ. यूजलेस इश्यूज वही 4 इश्यूज वही 4 बार हर 4 साल रिपीट करते रहते हैं. ये लोग आगे नहीं बढ़ते.
इंडिया में तो वही हो रहा है. इंडिया में तो
Vivek
वही हो
Desai
रहा है.
for vice president. Vivek Desai for vice president.
प्रेसिडेंट कौन होगा? लोगन पॉल. America's two-party system is easier to follow. यहाँ पे तो one party है अभी. It's not even two party. That's the other problem. The reason Indian politics is boiling right now is because क्यों हंस रहे हैं?
नहीं, because your joke was funny, bro. तेरे को
हाँ.
विश्वास नहीं होता तेरे जोक भी funny हो सकते
Okay.
हैं.
No, but it is यहाँ पे one party. No, that's the thing. I wasn't even joking. It's depressing. There is one party. I don't like. Thing is, there's no point in like people ask you like, what do you feel this way about BJP? But it doesn't matter because Congress as a party is horrible. There's no opposition. There's no opposition. वो लोग कुछ नहीं कर रहे. How do I even look at someone and tell them कि इसको vote मत दो when the other guy is not doing anything?
For 8 years there has been no opposition.
It's ridiculous and it's like. I don't know. This is the one thing I like about US politics to some extent. That there is some level of meritocracy. Even though the RNC and DNC are both privately run organizations, he's usually the guy who's most charismatic and manages to get the most amount of delegates wins their nomination. Whereas
It's a
the US
popularity contest.
But still,
It's a
that's still merit based compared to India, where it's like, okay, my mom was head of party, I'm head of party, I'm prime minister now.
Yeah, that is obviously messed up and India has recognized
So
that.
that's a problem. And that is the reason why BJP is winning. So
कोई
even
कह रहा है opposition है ना कुणाल कामरा and JNU.
UK or US better place to live? I would rather live in. I mean, bare margin. I would rather live in. I don't know, man. It's like US में.
I couldn't do UK, bro. UK is so
taxes
boring
are
to
too
me.
much. No, UK taxes
Plus, they're
are
so
fucking horrible.
boring, bro. They're so like London feels like old New York. Like मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा.
Man, I
I'm
have not
not.
been in years, so I don't remember. I was there as a
The
kid
last
once.
time I was in London, I was there for a month. मैं एक महीना proper वहाँ पे लगा के आया था, रह के आया था. And then I think एक week I was hitchhiking, traveling through Scotland, Blackpool, Liverpool, Manchester, Tyne गया था कि नहीं याद नहीं. All of that, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, bro, these guys are like just dull, man. Like and maybe I was wrong. I was a kid. I didn't know any better. I was
Yeah.
18, 17.
Yeah.
But US उस मामले में is so much more bubbling. Shit is always, bro. I'll tell you
Yeah.
something very cool. Okay, pull this up. Jamie, pull this up. Look up Brooklyn Mirage. Look up Brooklyn Mirage on Google Images or YouTube. Go to Brooklyn Mirage.
Is it like hentai?
Like,
Is it like goat shit? Goat shit, I'm gonna like.
can you
Do you know what
imagine
Goat's
the
Yard
amount of
sex is?
pornography Vivek watches to think everything I say is somehow related to? I still remember that keyword you'd given me. HTR, NTR, something.
NTR,
like that.
network, yeah.
NTR. I don't know what that means still, but sometimes it'll come across in like, different contexts and I'm like, NTR. I know this word. So एक बार look up Brooklyn Mirage and show
I
it on
saw
the
it.
screen.
It looks crazy. Okay, I'll show you.
Bro,
One second.
I've been going to Brooklyn Mirage the last 3 weeks. Every weekend, I'll go for a little bit to just.
Is it a
hang out.
restaurant or is it like a festival? What is it?
No, it's neither. It's a venue, bro. This is a venue.
It's a
The High
restaurant.
Court is
It's
not
like a venue, right? It's like a restaurant type venue.
Bro, I have been to venues around the world. I have loved this kind of music, techno house, this kind of shit, and
Yeah.
I've seen the venues around the world. There is nothing that even comes remotely close to how awesome this place is. Bro, abhi Sunday ko I was there for
Show,
Black
one
Coffee's
second.
gig.
I don't know how to show it. 1 second. हाँ, बोला.
I was there for Black Coffee's gig.
What
Black
is-
Coffee का नाम
it's
सुना
a
है?
Band, DJ, no.
No, it's a DJ. It's a South African DJ. He has
Okay.
only one hand, and he's very famous for mixing like very deeply African sounds.
Crazy.
No, this is not even the new one. This is the old one. Pull up the new one.
I don't
Write
know what the
down
new one
Brooklyn
is.
Mirage
eh?
new.
Okay, one second.
Just put. Abey, you'll.
One second, Google
Wait,
कर
let
रहा
me
हूँ.
look
1
this up.
second, यार.
Brooklyn Mirage new.
Demand
This is not
करके
even the coolest one, bro. This used to be before when it was not even.
Can I be
cool.
honest with you? This is something that this doesn't look appealing to me. This just looks like a lot of like I hate these kind of parties. I despise them. मेरे से होता ही नहीं. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. It's just boring for me. Like,
No,
bro,
you don't have to do any of that, bro. You just have to like the music.
dude,
But
I don't even like the music. I don't even like techno and all that. नहीं होता है मेरे से. It
That's you,
sounds like
हाँ.
lift music.
Le-
हाँ.
I'm just in any case, techno and house are here to take over. Like 5 years ago, if
No,
somebody
it's
said
like
that, I'd be
calling
like
it-
reasonable opinion.
I think calling it music is a stretch.
No, then you need to listen to वो क्या नाम है उसका Giorgio Giovanni की
Oh,
history. You need to listen
no,
to Jim
that
Morrison.
I like. I like Daft Punk.
हाँ.
But that's an out again. That's
Daft
an out.
Punk is not Giovanni. Daft Punk
Okay.
sampled Giovanni.
Got it.
Daft
Yeah,
Punk
is
sampled
it this?
Giovanni.
Is it this?
No.
I'm
Look,
not-
I'll look
I've
up
Googled
picture.
you. तुमको image
I'll
भेजो.
show you. I would have shown you on my Instagram, but my Instagram is no longer Mirage new images. They might have somehow managed to keep ये देख. हाँ. I'm just copying the link and sending this to you, huh?
Yeah. So for me, it's tough because I think one advantage of living in both countries is that I get to watch a lot more sports. Like India में cricket ही देख सकते हैं and वो भी इतना होता नहीं है India में games. And it's not like there's a game happening in your city guaranteed every week or every other week. Whereas if you're into football and basketball, both of which I watch a lot, then it's awesome, right? The thought of being able to just like go watch a Nets game whenever I feel like it. Right? So
Somebody's like, I'm currently living in the UK and I can assure you it is so boring. I know UK people are a little dull to me.
no, the other problem is that it's extremely expensive. It's extremely expensive, and the taxation is so high. मतलब बहुत-
Nordic countries are worse in that way, bro. It depends on what kind of life you want. Nordic countries have been to 6 बजे के बाद सड़क पे आदमी नहीं दिखता भाई वहाँ.
हाँ, मेरे दोस्त
अमेरिका में
ऐसे-
प्रॉब्लम ये 6 बजे के बाद सड़क पे आदमी दिख रहा है, उल्टे हो जाओ. उल्टे होके कहीं छुप जाओ. भाई तेरे को पता है मेरे साथ रिसेंटली क्या
Oh,
हुआ?
fuck,
क्वींस
this
में
is
मैं एक जगह था.
crazy. No, but यही
So,
फोटो
bro-
है रे. यही फोटो है.
नहीं. I'll tell you.
अरे.
अबे सुन मेरी बात सुन.
हाँ.
The new venue is basically what they've done is they've created a huge semicircular screen. A
Okay.
huge screen. बीच में स्टेज है. स्टेज के ऊपर there is many layers of lights and they all operate differently. उसके अलावा पूरा venue lit up है. When you're standing in the middle, which is anywhere in the concert venue, when you're standing
Yeah.
there, there is no other vision except the screen.
Got it.
तुम देख ही सिर्फ स्क्रीन सकते हो. So depending on who's playing, they can create a proper visual sort of setup for where you are.
Okay.
And so when I was listening to Chris Loeffler करके एक musician है, Christian Loeffler करके, ठीक है?
Okay.
Very soft house music. You would in fact enjoy it. It's not very नहीं है, वो बहुत ही soft है, ठीक है?
Got it.
You felt like उसका जो background था ना, it was ocean colored mist, like blue greenish colored mist, and you suddenly feel like, bro, क्या हो रहा है, space में है क्या अपने सब? ठीक है? Black Coffee play कर रहा था. He had African like wildlife visuals and African fashion visuals in the back.
Got it.
And you get so immersed. I was like, bro, this is so
I'll
the
tell you
best
one,
venue, I think.
Sorry, I'll tell you one DJ I really enjoyed watching live. When I was like again, like, so I'm sober, so for me it's like मैं कुछ नहीं करता. I try to be standing there and enjoy. Music is one thing, but just like भीड़ मेरे से होता नहीं है. But the imagery with the music was Eric Prydz. It was fucking crazy.
Oh, I saw Eric Prydz recently in Chicago.
Okay, so he had come for Supersonic, VH1 Supersonic. Oh.
Yeah. Eric Prydz does a whole different level. But at
good.
this point, I think I've satisfied myself. मैंने जितने DJ देखने थे ना life में,
Yeah.
सारे देख लिए.
I
सिवाय
just
Fred
don't.
again के.
I
Fred
just.
again देखना है.
I think DJs are great when composing music 100%. It's very tough for me to call it a live experience, man. I just rather watch a band. Like any day of the week, I'd rather watch a band. or a
I
musician.
cannot
Any day,
do
it's not
I cannot do
comfortable.
live gigs with bands because I have to just sit there. And if I'm sitting there, I might as well talk and music चल रहा है तो मैं बात क्या
नहीं
करूँ?
यार वैसा
The
नहीं.
last
It
I
depends
saw
what
live
band
was
you're going
Rela
on, yaar. What
The
band?
last I saw was a singer-songwriter, Rela Montan. But I've seen Pink Floyd, bro. I've seen Pink Floyd live. I've
What?
seen I've seen
Where?
Roger Waters play live in Boston.
Roger Waters or Pink Floyd?
No, he was playing Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd was
Was
up to
David
Pink
Gilmour
Floyd
there?
doesn't play together, no.
Yeah.
So Roger Waters playing Pink Floyd music only.
तेरे को wasn't like
Bro, I cried. I
हाँ,
cried
वही तो,
throughout.
वही
मतलब
तो।
मैं पूरा रोया उस दिन. मैं टूट गया रो के मेरे को विश्वास नहीं हो रहा था कि असली बात है ये. मेरे लिए इतनी बड़ी बात थी वो.
मैं तो figure out कर रहा हूँ how do I get to like Guns N' Roses का last tour है ना अभी farewell tour है. So I mean they do a farewell tour every 5 years.
तो NH7 में कौन हेडलाइन कर रहा है?
It's not Guns N' Roses, man. It's like it's a good lineup, but it's like Lumineers है, Jid है. I have not heard Lumineers. I've heard obviously, but Jid नहीं सुना इतना मैंने. And there's one other international artist called Dirty Loops, which I also don't know. I think it's a DJ duo.
Dirty Loops?
Yeah.
That sounds like a DNB artist.
I don't know about them, but मेरे को Lumineers पता है सिर्फ.
हाँ.
The thing is मेरे को Guns N' Roses बहुत मतलब I'd love to watch them live. I don't know how I'll do it, but somehow.
Aphex Twin आज मेरे Spotify recommendations में था गौतम.
House of Dragons is just amazing. You should watch House of Dragons. तो ये सब का
यार I started watching House of Dragons, then I was like कि मैं थोड़ा busy हो गया, you know.
हाँ.
जीवन में चीजें चल रही थी.
I mean that's I get what you're saying, but 1 घंटा दिन में निकालना देखने के लिए.
Bro, तू समझ नहीं रहा उस टाइम जो दिमाग का हाल होता है
अभी
ना.
देख ले.
हाँ, अब देख सकता हूँ मैं. अब मैं वापस चालू कर सकता हूँ.
Recent, I don't know what Kaushik you're asking. समझा नहीं.
Bro, Australia looks very cool from afar, from like ये Melbourne, Sydney type अगर तुम किसी जगह में हो, Gold Coast वगैरह में. But I've heard all things about Australia, good and bad both. कि boring भी है और interesting भी है. Some people are super happy. Some of my friends in Australia are super happy.
Dude, my problem is I'm not comfortable like feeling warm in December. That for me is a deal breaker. Just the idea कि December और बहचोद गर्मी में
I
हो
know
है
too.
is a deal breaker, hard deal breaker. I just like मेरे को बर्फ तो देखने फुर्सत है इधर पुणे में, but ठंड तो फील होना चाहिए, ठंड होता है इधर. But I can't be like बहचोद half sleeve में घूम रहा हूँ मैं दिसंबर में, वो नहीं. That's not the life I want for myself. Hey,
Sharwar, how tough is it for an Indian to make friends or get girls in the United States? Are they skeptical towards
ऐसा
Indians
कुछ नहीं
too?
है, I feel that's not. It depends where you are also though.
Not, I mean, like, if you're in like a rural area initially, but it's really not that difficult. It's really not that difficult. The landscape is different.
I would argue
India
there are
में-
some associated advantages.
With what?
Being
Oh, bro, for sure.
yeah.
If you know how to play, the thing about United States is so cosmo. You can really be exotic and not an outlier.
Yeah.
Those two things are a great combination. कि तुम bro full exotic हो, तुम एक ऐसी जगह से आते हो ये imagine भी नहीं कर सकते. तो the ball is in your court, bro.
Yeah,
Right?
I think
If you know how
it's-
to play it well.
I
You need to
think-
know how to play it.
I don't think that's the reason you should go to India for, but if you do go, yeah, sure. मतलब तब कुछ ये नहीं है. It's like I have a bunch of friends who are studying there. They've all managed to make like good group of friends and all that. Most of them have girlfriends. A lot of them have girlfriends who are also Indians. I'm like कि यार ये तो मतलब this is
JB कह रहा है
It is
शर्वार
like-
भागम भाग गोविंदा energy.
this is like if I go from
क्या चाहिए?
this is like if I go from Pune to fucking Bangalore. If I go from Pune to like Chandigarh and I have missile. This is like that. हाँ.
Somebody's like, where would you want to move? Maybe West Coast for a little bit, and then I'm open again to what country I want to live in.
Bro, मेरे को जापान में रहना है यार, टोक्यो आना है मुझे.
जापान जुपू नहीं रहना है यार मेरे को. जापान जुपू नहीं. अब मेरे को थोड़ा वेस्ट
I
एक्सप्लोर
don't-
करना है.
I-
ईस्ट तो बहुत जी लिए हैं.
I'm still like, तू गया है कभी जापान? It's fucking crazy.
No, I've seen enough of Japan. I've never been to, but like I've seen enough of the East. I'm very happy with the amount of exploration I've done there. Now I want to live in different places on the West, bro. Like, this is the thing. There is so much just residual fun to be had in living in a completely new place with completely new rules.
Rules or rules? What did you say? Rules.
Rules. Like हर जगह का अपना सिस्टम होता है ना भाई. अपनी दुनिया अलग चलती है सबकी.
हाँ.
मेरे को तो बड़ा मजा आता है. मेरे को तो लगता है और कुछ नया बता दो, कुछ नया सीखने को मिल जाए. तो मेरा तो वो थ्रिल चलता रहता है. तो आई विल प्रोबेबली मूव 1-1.5-2 साल में न्यूयॉर्क से 6 साल हो जाएंगे यहाँ पे. 2-4 साल रहूंगा और वेस्ट कोस्ट, फिर देखेंगे यूरोप रह सकते हैं.
At that point, is there any like functional value in you living in that place, or is it just कि मेरे को किधर और रहना है? Like what you're doing right now, you could do anywhere. in the
Ideally, I want to set up businesses that I can run from anywhere.
world. Got it.
I want to separate where I exist and where I work. Where I want to work is the United States, as much as I can. Even if I live in India, I don't mind. But
Yeah.
like the economic opportunities in the United States, let's be honest.
And
The
conversion
money is
also
to be
very
made.
favorable. Yeah, the conversion also very favorable. Especially if you live in India, then though it's like great.
हाँ bro, हमारे यहाँ पे if you want to make an edtech startup work, it has to be Byju's, otherwise it does not. Like it has to be the most lowest common denominator massy product ever.
Yeah.
If you want to make a podcast work, it has to be the lowest massy common denominator ever.
Yeah. No,
Right?
I think that's the
Eclectic
case for pretty much anything which is anything that requires like in-depth knowledge of a previously known subject in India. Because it's like तू जितना कम मास करेगा उतना तेरे को कम जनता भी मिलेगा. It's literally
नहीं,
in the
उसके अलावा
sentence.
भी margins नहीं है bro. Like I'm not going to defend any of the edtech practices that बीच में happened. But if you go ask them why they were happening,
Yeah.
they'd be like, bro, हम क्या करें, हम बेचना भी तो है.
But the
धंधा
customer
भी तो चलाना
acquisition
है.
cost also is like crazy. So you're एक तो spending shit ton of money trying to get a customer, like trying to get customers, and then उसके बाद even when you get the customers, monetizing it is extremely difficult. So I get what you're saying.
अबे कह रहा है when is art of manipulation course coming, भाई आने वाला है.
यार ये
इसकी release date थोड़े दिनों में announce कर देंगे.
Are you actually
भाई,
releasing it? It's going to release
Of
now.
course, bro. तेरे को लगता है you think it is so dumb that people think I'm bothered by this. I'm going to actually
I didn't
make
say
an
you
art
were
of
bothered. I'm
manipulation.
asking, are you going to do it? I didn't say you're bothered. I'm saying, are you going to release a
I'm
course?
saying people, when
Ah,
people
okay.
post something like this, they're like, oh, we're being funny. You don't know. I already did that choti bachchi wala t-shirt thing. I already spun that. It does not, like, I play it to my
तू
strengths.
पहना
I
या
know how
बेच
to
रहा है
do
जो
it.
टी-शर्ट छोटी बच्ची कर रही है?
यार, I don't want to sell it. मेरे को कोई उसको वो ज़्यादा करने की ज़रूरत नहीं. My point is, like, you think this is funny. I own this shit very quickly. It does not bother me too long.
I mean, the thing is, it's overdone also. रे. पहली बार जब मैं पढ़ा नाइट चकल्ट की आर्ट ऑफ मैनिपुलेशन, now
हाँ,
everywhere
हाँ,
I'm mentioned,
no
everywhere
problem, no
it's
problem.
been done now.
हाँ.
Revolution term use कर लेते हैं. How long does Vipassana retreat for a first timer? मेरे को तो
10 days. You cannot do it shorter than 10 days.
Bro, I can't. Like I've heard about it. मेरे से तो होगा ही नहीं. I'll die. Like that's my worst nightmare. 10 days
That is
without any
exactly
source
why
of
you're a
entertainment.
pussy, bro.
Well, I don't care.
Exactly why
I'm
you're a scared cat.
But that's like तेरे को पता है क्या? That's
Guys,
like,
don't listen to Vivek.
No,
on
but
this.
the problem
you
is
must
why,
do things you're afraid
why
of.
should you? Why can't I just enjoy my life?
Because
Why
you
should I
haven't
force
even
myself?
discovered who you are. Because
but
you should
that's-
watch my last video.
The problem is not like in a lot of situations, unnecessary self-awareness just leads to sadness.
That
I'm
is the
happy
dumbest
living-
opinion you've ever had.
I don't know. My thing is this, ठीक है? I'm happy with my life right now. Life is going well. I don't feel the need to subject myself to 10 days of isolation without, and I'm not depressed. I'm not like, bro, there are people who genuinely need to get off Instagram and need to get off of TikTok, Tinder, whatever, right? Who have issues. I have none of those. I'm happy with the materialistic things that the modern era has given me. Why should I subject myself to unnecessary restraint? I think I'm not going to be like Gordon Gekko in Wall Street.
Look,
Greed is good.
if we were talking about something like उसको क्या कहते हैं? What is that African psychedelic? Iboga. If you were saying Iboga and
Yeah.
you were applying this logic, I'd support you because Iboga has a risk associated to it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be extremely. I don't know if you know about Iboga.
I know about it.
The point is, on the far end of the bell curve, I would say this is the median. This is the basic. This is the least you should do for yourself. This is
Why
mental
should you?
hygiene we are
My
talking.
problem is कि it's like it's beneficial. I won't argue with you on that. For some people, but
भाई फिर आगे कोर्ट केस वाले हाँ.
But तू क्या okay joke किस लिए ठीक है? But I'm saying but when you say कि everyone should do it, I think that's a big blanket statement. यार मैं मेरा life enjoy करूँ मेरे को नहीं करना है.
Everybody should do
I think that's like why should everyone do
It's
it?
mental hygiene. It's like everybody should
that's-
exercise.
No, everyone should
like
exercise.
everybody should
No, one
exercise.
second. Everyone should exercise. But if you're already fit, you shouldn't exercise more. The problem is what you're talking about. Like
No,
digital
you should
detox.
exercise regardless. Exercise is not.
But I'm
going
already exercising.
ham.
If I have a right amount of restraint on my digital consumption, if I have the right amount of restraint in how I interact with the outside world, then why should I put myself through more restraint? Why should I?
Well,
What you're saying is right
starters,
for
you
certain
need to-
people, but not for
No,
everyone.
not for certain people. I think for most people. Well, I'll tell you why. Firstly, you are not anticipating how bad shit is going to get. You are not preparing for that.
Again, you're just assuming that it will get for everyone. Why is that the case?
Bro,
And-
if you
yeah.
think shit is not going to get bad, then like you are not considering life and its trajectory properly. Shit is always going to
These
get-
are- But what you're
gets
saying,
worse
I
always.
get it, but it's extremely abstract. Nothing you're telling me makes me feel like 10
I don't
days
want-
in isolation with bad food, no internet, no games, no friends to talk to is a good idea. I'm sure it is for a lot of people. For me, it just seems like unnecessary torture.
चल तू 3 दिन करा तू तेरे से 3 दिन भी हो जाए तो बहुत है.
But मेरे को नहीं करना है. I don't think
गड्ढा
it's
खोद के तो
this is like
गड्ढा
David
खोद
Blaine.
के
This
तो
is like
देख.
David Blaine going and saying कि it's good to go 3 days without eating food. लेकिन उसने किया है ना कि उसके लिए अच्छा था.
Bro, you
it's
should
the-
fast. 1-1.5 दिन तो fast कर सकते हो.
But I'm saying कि saying it's a good thing for me is different from saying कि every person should do it. That's a blanket statement. I feel
I
like
would not have said it for physical, say like fasting, because it depends on your health and your circumstance. Mental
Yeah.
hygiene, most people have close to zero. Close to zero. You think your life is okay, but like the
no.
reason
But if
why
I
I'm
think
not
my
giving-
life is okay, my life is okay.
No, bro, that's the dumbest thing you can ever
No,
say.
no. 1 second. There are certain examples where, of course, if you're repressed and all that and you don't know about it, that's different. But
No,
it's like
you are then.
okay. Sorry.
The point is, the reason I'm saying abstract things is I don't want to dig at where problems might be in your case.
नहीं,
But
मेरे को-
if we were
go for it,
completely
go for
honest,
it, go for it, 100% go for it.
bro, it is just not worth either of our time to like sit in front of the public and start digging into someone's issues. My point is, on a more personal level, the statement that you're making कि मेरे को life में कोई issue नहीं है, if you even sit for an hour and you cannot sit for an hour, the reason is fundamentally you're avoiding those issues.
No, I can sit for an hour, but I can't sit for 10 days. I don't want to.
So sit for
I
an
enjoy
hour
my
and
life
see
too
what
much.
pops up.
But I do. That time when I just sit down, chill, lay down the bed में, I do that.
And
मैं
you
क्या
do
क्या
not
करूँ?
look at you just तू सिर्फ खाली without
Yeah.
without distraction.
Yep.
Like you have no phone, you have nothing,
no
no
phone,
chai,
nothing,
no
no
nothing,
phone,
nobody
nothing.
to talk
AC
to,
on
nothing
रहता
to
है.
look at.
AC on रहता है.
बस
That's
और तू
about
ऐसे
it.
ही खाली बैठा रहता है.
लेटा
You are
रहता हूँ.
literally telling me तू 1 घंटा खाली बैठा रहता
Later
है.
रहता हूँ.
ऐसे.
Like, I don't time 1 hour, but a lot of times. Yeah.
हाँ, तू बस ऐसे पैर बंद करके बैठा रहता है without an intention to do anything.
Yeah, लेटा रहता हूँ
या
मैं.
कुछ
Just
भी.
chill कर रहा हूँ. Chill
बस
कर रहा हूँ.
ऐसे ही लेटा रहता है.
Yeah, because बहुत काम कर लिया, बहुत
और
थक गया
कुछ
हूँ.
नहीं हो रहा होता और कुछ नहीं कर रहा
तो
होता.
what exactly? How often do I have to say this for you to be like, हाँ ठीक है?
No, because it is so like, are you like that sounds kind of stupid in the sense that मैं 1 घंटा बस ऐसे
I'm
बैठा हूँ.
tired. No, but I'm tired. Like बहुत काम कर लिया अभी, आधा घंटा chill करूँगा मैं.
तो तू
Collect my
tired है तो
thoughts.
तू सोने जा रहा है ना.
सो नहीं रहा हूँ
trying
मैं.
to sleep.
I'm not sleeping. I have shit to do later. So I'm like, I'm just going to distress for a bit.
चल ठीक है.
Why? But here's my thing. ठीक है? I have a simple question. What you're saying is like everyone should meditate. People say this. Everyone should meditate. Why? You're
Because-
assuming that everyone has mental lack of mental clarity or everyone needs. I can agree with you on saying a lot of people in meditation. Saying everyone needs meditation is a blanket statement which is just crazy because you don't know everyone's life.
Look, हम लोग margins को discount कर देंगे, right? Margins हटा देते हैं, but largely everyone. Why I'm saying that is because the real world outside is always like junk food.
Okay.
That is why. Always like junk food. Incessantly like junk food. Plus, the way you were raised, massively effed up. No matter who you are,
Yeah.
the way you were raised
Agreed.
is rewards and punishment.
I will give you this.
Massively effed up.
I will give you this.
Right?
100%.
And I don't
Yeah.
mean in the sense of childhood trauma, parental trauma pass on हो रहा है. मैं उस
100%.
sense में limited बात नहीं कर रहा. मैं बात कर रहा हूँ the model of parenting, which is rewards and punishment, massively effed up.
Yeah.
So the difference between a physical and a mental regimen for hygiene or for whatever muscle building
Yeah.
is that the mental world is constantly being barraged by enemies and therefore you must make it stronger.
Yeah.
The physical world can be in situations where it's not. So like bro, everything, your fascination with your वो जो तू sneakers पकड़ ले या
Yeah,
video
yeah,
games,
for sure.
everything has a component you are just slightly unaware of that is going to then create a mathematics in the future.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, you are one of those lucky outliers where it just does not arrive. I have personally found no matter what shit comes, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it could be.
I'm sure, but I don't think
fighting
at
with
that
your-
point when it happens ना, I don't think I'll be thinking कि अच्छा हुआ मैंने 2 साल रोज मेडिटेट किया, अब मैं ये हैंडल कर सकता हूँ. I don't think that will be my frame of mind when it happens. is all I'm saying. Like shit has happened. At no point have I thought कि अगर मैं meditate करता तो मैं खुश होता और. And again, I'm not
खुश नहीं होता,
discounting.
you would be better
I'm
prepared.
not discounting meditation. I know it works for some people. My nan used to do it a lot. She didn't help her. She needed chemotherapy, not meditation, but that's her problem. She could have, anyways. But like, I'm not saying, I know it works. हाँ.
Mental Zeren प्रखर भाई, आपने आचार्य प्रशांत की लीक क्लिप्स देखी ऑफ स्मोकिंग एंड ड्रिंकिंग? व्हाट द हेल, एक और कंट्रोवर्सी? ये बात रियल है? इज दिस रियल? इज दिस अ रियल चैट? इज दिस अ रियल?
क्या हुआ?
व्हाट द हेल?
What is?
I don't think that. No.
Crazy.
ये कब निकला है ब्रो?
Dementor XL. I
But
think
it's
you have to
old.
just search Prakhar. Just search Prakhar Shwetab or search Prakhar Sandeep.
For what?
अरे पढ़ना ऊपर. Super
अच्छा
चल रहा है.
अच्छा एक मिनट ब्रो. अच्छा बट ऑनेस्टली ब्रो, अगर तुम एक इंसान को इतना भी लेवरेज नहीं दे सकते कि वो दारू वारू सिगरेट विगरेट पी ले, तो फिर क्या फायदा है भाई? फिर क्या फायदा है?
Shit. Crazy dude.
मतलब यार, इंसान तो इंसानों वाली चीज करेगा ना. इंसान से भगवान वाली अपेक्षा रखो मत. कोई सीन नहीं है. आई थिंक आचार्य प्रशांत स्टिल हैज अ लॉट ऑफ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स टू से.
Someone like साले को controversy दूर से दिखती है. हाँ. So प्रखर, चल मैं तेरे को can I give you a different example of this? Different. You know, so like I said, ठीक है, sometimes it's okay. Let's say I have a job. ठीक है, job pays X amount, it's average, slightly above average, but it's getting me what I want. I'm happy with the amount of things I'm doing. For you, it might be a boring life because there's no growth and there's no want for growth. There's no want for growth. I'm happy.
Is there want for adventure?
Maybe not, but I'm happy. I'm enjoying my life.
Where is your vitality? Is there want for sex?
The problem, maybe I'm getting it. Maybe I'm married. I'm getting it. My point is this: your advice now is always given to people on the basis of how you would want to live. When you say कि you should meditate, when you say, but that's, come on, you
I
have
am the
to,
bottleneck.
Correct.
It's
but
the
you
same
have,
with Andrew Tate. We are the bottleneck.
correct. So you have to then also be open to the fact that people have different measures for happiness. मैं तेरे को बोलता हूँ, ठीक है, a friend of mine, I won't say
That
he's
is too flimsy an argument.
No, it's not. I'm not saying कि
If you cannot have an objective core for happiness, then you cannot have, like, if you this is like saying everything is subjective.
No, this is not everything is, but the need for certain things are. मैं तेरे को बता रहा हूँ कि from my end right now, maybe in the future it will change, but I don't see any way right now कि Vipassana will enhance my life, nor do I see the need for it. You are saying कि it will happen without telling me specifically how or why it will happen. So when that bridge
Because
comes, we'll
it's the same.
tackle
If you
it.
were talking about mushrooms, I'd say the same thing. I'd be like, bro, there is no way I can tell you how your life will change because a lot of it is built into the way you live your life, and I do not have enough details about it.
Yeah.
But there is for sure going to be a newer clarity, and I think that is better because shit is about to get bad.
Can I give you an example?
My life's motto is winter is coming. हाँ.
हाँ, good. मैं दारू भी नहीं पीता हूँ. I have a shit ton of friends saying कि दारू पी. This is the best example I'll give you. ठीक है?
I've seen you not drink. हाँ.
Yeah, I don't. Like I legit. Like तुम्हारे birthday party पता, you know.
हाँ,
what I'm
मैंने
talking
देखा है,
about.
हाँ,
Like, I
I've
don't
seen
drink,
that.
I don't smoke, I don't know. Like literally
Oh,
nothing.
by the way, विवेक की भी clips leak हो गई हैं दारू पीते हुए और सिगरेट पीते हुए. हाँ.
So my reasoning is this, ठीक है? I've seen the negatives of alcohol. I've seen people enjoy it, getting a little buzzed. I know the way I function now, which is like with cold coffee and tea and games. Once I'm into something and it's readily available, I don't know how to stop. So I don't need alcohol to make my parties more fun. I don't need it to make my
Your
day
parties
more
are not
enjoy-
fun.
Whatever, right? देखो तो मजा आता है, तू तो काफी पिया था, but whatever. Maybe not as crazy as Miraj, but भोजपुरी गाने गाए थे हम लोग ने.
Bro, I had so much fun there. I'm not
मजा
kidding.
आता तो आ रहा है अभी नवंबर दिसंबर कभी भी तो आएगा तो मजा आएगा.
The singular reason why I had come to your party was I wanted to meet पुणे में कैसे लोग करते हैं, क्या ठीक है, क्या सीन है.
But that's not Pune
And
का
I
scene.
had
I was
so much fun.
Pune
I'm not
proper
saying
party scenes are
largely
better. I was
represent-
very like my party was very different.
मेरे को बस पुणे के लोगों से मिलके उनके साथ पार्टी करनी थी, मेरे को उनके साथ दारू पीनी थी, मेरे को देखना था ये लोग क्या बातें करते हैं आपस में. मेरे को बहुत मजे आया. I had so much fun.
मजा आया था उस दिन. So
मैं तो ऐसे देखता हूँ. हाँ भाई.
So that's why I don't drink, because I know कि I don't need it. It's not, I don't, even if it enhances my life in the future, maybe it'll make it more fun for me. The cons are way more than the pros. तो मुझे
एक कह रहा है बर्तन धोने में जो नशा है वो दारू नहीं दे
दारू नहीं,
सकता.
विम का स्मेल, नींबू का जो स्मेल है ना, ओहो.
पता है एक दिन लीक होगी फुटेज, ये ना मुझे पेट्रोल पंप पे बाइक में
सूंघ रहा
पेट्रोल
थैली
भरा
लेके.
डिप करके बाद में सूंघता हुआ साइड में कोई वीडियो रिकॉर्ड कर लेगा उसकी, और फिर मैं दारू नहीं पीता कर रहा होगा ये मुकेश की तरह. हाँ
हाँ, so that's all I'm saying. So same way I know myself well enough to be like, you will probably be like, भाई दारू पी मजे कर लाइफ में. That's what you were saying.
भाई
Even with
नहीं,
shrooms.
मैं दारू को लेके मैं जिसकी जो मर्जी है वैसे करूँ.
But you feel the same way
ज्यादा
about
दारू
shrooms.
नहीं पीनी भाई, ज्यादा दारू नहीं
But
पीनी.
you feel it about shrooms?
Yeah.
Correct. I don't see any. I see the cons as being worse than the pros. For me personally, I'm not saying for everyone. For knowing me, I see the cons as being worse than the pros because I'm someone who, if I start liking something, I'm going to want to do it again and again. I'm not saying addiction wise. I'm saying just because it's like giving me a crazy trip. I don't want that.
There is almost close to zero possibility of that with mushrooms. With other substances, there is. That is what I'm saying. You don't even understand the substance profile.
No, but let's say I know people who have done it, right? And I know कि I've heard their experiences and all that. And they keep on talking about like, अरे करने में मजा आएगा वापस. I saw this, I saw that. I don't want to do it. I don't think. By the way, this is not endorsement, non-endorsement, nothing. But you understand what I'm saying?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Like for me, for me, it's just that कि मेरे को there are certain things where I see कि this will make it more fun for me.
विवेक ने ayahuasca कर ली. विवेक अंदर से फट पड़ेगा, अंदर से कुछ निकल.
I've heard about it. That's the one in South America, ना? The one you go fucking.
अब तो हर जगह मिल जाता है. अब तो हर जगह मिल जाता है. हाँ. Now it is widely available.
So it's the same thing with
in
like.
fact, bro, in New York, if you go to a smoke store, they're selling mushrooms fridge में लगा के, bro.
Legal now. Arizona में legal है. I don't know.
No, it's not legal. It's not. नहीं legal कहीं नहीं है अभी भी.
Like the vape situation.
But it's just people have just like given up, bro. People have just given up in America. They don't care. They're letting the psychedelic revolution take over.
Please tell which profession.
गाजियाबाद में कहाँ मिलेगा ayahuasca? सेक्टर 13 में.
साइड टिको का घर भेज रहा है क्या?
सेक्टर कॉपियर के नीचे जाना पड़ेगा आपको बेटा. शुभम मॉल में वहाँ मिलेगा.
Issuing NM style tico. So Vivek, I agree with you. Prevention is better than cure, and I think it's a person to person thing. It's just I know how I am, so I feel that's the best thing for me.
Mushrooms only thing common between Ranveer and Prakhar. रणवीर ने बात करी है mushrooms के बारे में?
Even I don't drink alcohol or any recreational, but I love meditation. It's like a bonus, even if you are in peace in your life now. If I ever feel na कि it's too overwhelming and दिमाग में चीजें clutter हो रही है, then I will take up meditation. As of now, my main issue is कि I don't have enough free time to watch like the anime.
I don't have enough brain space to have too many things in my brain.
नहीं रे, it's like देख भाई मेरे को anime देखने का है. मेरा एक नया season अभी खत्म हुआ है anime का. A lot of new shows have come out. No fucking time will you to watch it. So will I watch that or will I spend 30, 40, 50, 1 hour, 2 hours meditating every day? That's what I'm saying. So for me, I would rather watch the thing that makes me happy.
What an insult, bro. बंदा कह रहा है मैंने by the way I saw Death Note. I almost finished it. I got bored towards the end. Almost.
No, but that you did the right thing because it falls. This is spoiler, but if you don't watch Death Note, it falls off after L dies.
Yeah.
L dying is the
that's
peak.
That's what I felt.
And then it just falls off. This is a known thing.
But then that is also not such a good climax to the whole show either.
Yeah, it's not.
Like when L dies. Yeah.
It's not.
It's so like it left me high and dry.
I'm not even saying they should have ended when L died. They could have done something else, but that the peak was L and Light ka cat and mouse.
Yeah.
Death Note. And this is no.
But
this
even
is no
even with that, like I enjoyed watching it. It's very like you get hooked to watching that. It's so easy to consume. It's only 20 minutes, so on and so forth. But I have one problem, which is that the way L and the other guy Light they play. Your cat and mouse, they predict it too easily. Like they predict each other's moves too easily, and I think that produces a sort of spectacularity.
There is a suspense of disbelief required because it's not human.
But
at the same time,
if you were in a real situation like that, you were thinking a lot more options.
Correct,
You're not just like, oh, इसने ये किया होगा.
But so I would recommend अगर तेरे को वो psychological twist वाले shows देखने, just go Attack on Titan. It's the safest one, and it's the reason that it's so well liked right now. It's fucking brilliant. AOT.
Okay.
In fact, on IMDb, the like the top 10 highest rated episodes of any TV show, the most episodes are from AOT. On that.
Okay.
In fact, number 1 is also Attack on Titan, I think. Or I think number 1 is Ozymandias, Breaking Bad, one of the two.
The first 21 days of September, I was living between couches. I did not have a home. ठीक है, तो मेरे पास while all of this was also happening, I did not have a home. So मेरे को ये होता था कि भाई आज कहाँ सोना है, आज कहाँ सोना है, आज कहाँ सोना है. तो I ended up at one of my friends' place deep somewhere inside Queens. और उसके घर पे वो रहता था. 2 पंजाबी लड़के रहते थे, एक सिख एक नॉन सिख, बट ठेठ बिल्कुल डीप पंजाब से. ठीक है, बढ़िया लौंडे, ठीक है, अपने टाइप के. एक वो लड़का मेरा फरीदाबाद से दोस्त है. हम चारों मिलके वो उन लोगों ने मेरे को दिखाया. उन्होंने मेरे को रामेन हाथ में पकड़ा, कहते अब बताओ नरूटो देखना है. मैं बोला नरूटो नहीं देखना. तो उन्होंने डेथ नोट लगा दिया.
फिर वहां से तो बहुत लंबा हो गया था, 700 एपिसोड.
वो तो बकचोदी कर रहे थे. बट दैट्स हाउ आई स्टार्टेड वाचिंग. एंड I enjoyed those 21 days a lot while I was jumping between beds because I got exposed to so many different things I would have not been exposed to.
Yeah.
Because I was living with randos, they were doing rando things, and I was like, wow, what a rando life.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Attack on Titan you should check out. For someone who says na ki adventures are necessary hai, try it out. Because I feel like to someone who's just started watching now, that's the best anime has to offer right now. I think there are better shows, but if like because of the it's a cultural movement right now also. It was like the most talked about show last year, even more than like Squid Game. Squid Game ज़्यादा लोगों ने देखा, but internet activity वो सब ज़्यादा AOT का था. Plus anime is much more like it's really high piracy होता है anime का. तो it's tough to quantify किसने क्या था. But AOT was quite popular last year मतलब. I think even you heard of it, right? Like it's like Game of Thrones की तरह था. Everyone was talking about Game of Thrones.
I've heard enough. अच्छा, anyway, I'm going to jump off now यार.
Yeah.
मेरे को काम है.
चिल. अभी क्या प्लान है तेरा अगले कुछ दिन?
आज और कल में 2 और स्क्रिप्ट्स खत्म करनी है, अगले 2 वीडियोस के थर्सडे को रिकॉर्ड करनी है. प्राइमरीली कल सुबह कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट मीटिंग्स हैं बिजनेस रिलेटेड. आज शाम को अगर माय बैक एंड माय नेक हैव बीन काइंड ऑफ सम, पता नहीं क्यों बहनचोद माय बॉडी हैज बीन हर्टिंग इनफ. एक तो ब्रो मैं ना इतने दिनों से ना हिंदी में बात नहीं कर पाया हूँ, तो आज सारी गालियां निकल जाएंगी स्ट्रीम पे. तो आई डोंट थिंक आई विल बी एबल टू गो क्लाइंब टुडे, so I'll just spend time mostly writing.
Like you do rock climbing? What kind of climbing?
Yeah. We started doing like, bro, man, I got bored trying to get to the gym so many times. So I was like, अब ना कुछ like either I'm going to start fighting again or I'm going to start not
like
on the internet.
UFC kickboxing या फरीदाबाद?
JJ. I like JJ. So I've located some classes around here that I can take. Otherwise, I'll just continue climbing. Climbing's great. I love it.
Okay. चलो, I think someone's just asking one last thing. Your views on Reddit?
I've just never spent too much time on Reddit.
I'll use it for specific things, but otherwise I don't like browse Reddit कि आज क्या हो रहा है इस पे, वैसा नहीं करता मैं.
अच्छा, before I go, guys, कल हमारा सरप्राइज ड्रॉप है सेकंड वीडियो का. तूने मेरी नई सीरीज देखी है जो मैंने उसका पहला एपिसोड निकाला है?
कौन सा? That thing where you're talking and there's a moving background.
Yeah.
Not seen that. No. I saw a bit of it, but क्या है? Is it good?
क्या करें यार, विवेक तेरा यार. तू बहनचोद दोस्ती
Bro,
भी ढंग से नहीं.
तू बढ़िया दोस्त रहेगा, but like मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, anime देखना है मेरे को यार. मेरा I don't have any time to watch anime. YouTube तो दूर की बात
तो
है.
बेसिकली गाइस प्रॉब्लम ये है कि विवेक अभी 11 साल से 12 का हुआ ही नहीं है पिछले 20 साल से.
ये कितना childish thought है कि because it's animated it must be for kids. When will you grow? When will you grow out of your comfort zone?
I saw anime and I don't think it is for kids entirely. Not at least not anymore.
Okay.
Before I had an uneducated opinion.
Correct. Remember when you should discuss this? Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Like I realized that there is, because bro, my anime exposure was Dragon Ball Z. Not Doraemon. Okay. Doraemon at some point, sure, I didn't think of that as anime. Yeah. But Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, there was this Duel Masters. Do you remember Duel Masters?
Of course, yeah.
Bro, Duel Masters, bro. I used to love that shit.
Bro, my shit was Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters ठीक है, but Yu-Gi-Oh! was the real shit if you talk about card games.
Bro, I know people would talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! But my loyalty at that point was Duel Master. तो मैंने बोला Yu-Gi-Oh! वाले साले छपरीज निकलो यहाँ से.
हाँ ठीक है, और बता फिर अभी.
Bro, तेरे को पता है मेरे पास ना 10 डिब्बे इतने बड़े बड़े सिर्फ डुअल मास्टर कार्ड्स के होते थे. मैं बहुत बड़ा दीवाना था उसका. फिर ना मैं बिल्कुल भूल गया. तो अभी कल परसों नहीं, थोड़ा टाइम हो गया. आई डोंट नो हाउ आई एंडेड अप. I think I remember how I ended up. It was quite a trip, but I ended up like looking up Duel Masters और उसके नाम वाम सबके क्या होते थे. वो बहुत मजे आए मेरे को यार, बहुत मजे आए वो कार्ड्स दोबारा देख के.
That's nice.
Beyblade मैंने देखा है. Beyblade मैंने देखा है.
Beyblade तो fuck. Yeah, dude. Beyblade, Pokemon I'm still really into. Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh! I have not like थोड़ा fallen off. Pokemon is always and will always be number one. I started doing magic to buy Pokemon games. Pokemon. तो कुछ भी बोल रहे हैं like यार बच्चों का ये हो. The fact is most of the audience is adult. Not the anime, the game. The games are super fun to play, and until you play them, I don't think you can judge.
I recently started playing FIFA again. We downloaded FIFA 23. Nice. That started happening again. If you ever want to play, we can play.
खेलते. PS5 पे किस पे खेलता है? PC पे?
Xbox. मेरे पास जब मैं कोविड स्टार्ट हुआ तब यहाँ पे एक Xbox लिया था. वो hand down होके वापस मेरे पास आ गया.
Which one is it? Is it a one or a series? Xbox series या Xbox One?
One. 4 साल पहले वही था शायद.
One.
हाँ.
I think cross play है. If there's cross play, 100% अपन खेल सकते हैं. अच्छा. और क्या चल रहा है? और क्या कर रहा है YouTube पे next?
पहले तो ये वाली सीरीज स्टेबलाइज करनी है क्योंकि ये नया एक्सपेरिमेंट है. इस एक्सपेरिमेंट पे कैसे कंपाउंड करना है, कैसे इसमें चीजें फिगर आउट करनी है वो. उसके बाद हम कॉन्वर्सेशंस वापस रीइंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे. वो कैसे करना है उस पर भी एक अलग प्लान है. उसके अलावा और चीजें हैं जो मैं YouTube पे डिस्कस नहीं करता, बट
Got
आई एम
it.
वर्किंग ऑन सम अदर स्टफ एज वेल. Some part of it you are aware of.
Yeah, yeah.
Some part of it, yeah. What else? What else? Life has been a lot about work the last few months, the last 2 months at least. A lot of it has been focused on like getting things in order. It is very interesting to me, as social as I am, how like जैसे कहते हैं ना घर घुसू,
हाँ.
कि मैं भाई पूरा पूरा दिन निकल जाता है ब्रो. जब से मैं उठा हूं ना, आज जब से मैं उठा हूं,
तू उठा कितने
सुबह 1
घंटे
घंटा.
पहले? तो उठा कितने घंटे पहले?
अभी 4 बजने वाले हैं, मैं उठा हूँ 8:30. तो तू लगा ले 7.5 घंटे पहले.
Okay.
ठीक है. पहला 1-1.5 घंटा मेरा अपना होता है जिसमें मेरी मेडिटेशन और मेरी स्ट्रेचिंग और मेरा मॉर्निंग वॉक,
Yeah.
जो वो पूरा रूटीन रहता है.
Yeah.
उसके बाद से मैं नॉन स्टॉप कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन के सामने हूँ. समथिंग और दी अदर्स हैपनिंग, मीटिंग्स बैक टू बैक, ये
Got it.
वो, फिर ये
Got
स्ट्रीम,
it.
इसके बाद अब कुछ और होगा, फिर 25 काम और होंगे. तो वो हेक्टिक है. पूरा दिन इसमें निकल जाता है और फिर एंड तक तुम्हारे पास लिखने का टाइम बच जाए बहुत है,
Yeah.
या फीफा खेलने का टाइम
I
बच
might
जाए.
order some food now actually. मैं भाई मैं I'm not doing crazy dieting, but मैं exercise बहुत crazy कर रहा हूँ अभी. Like I have really cut down on the amount of food I'm eating, and I'm जिम में तो गाड़ी मार रहा हूँ मैं अभी. Today I got almost like a mini heart attack. I ran for like
Bro, please
15.
गालियां मत दे यार स्ट्रीम पे.
I ran for like 15 minutes at 12 का speed. तो when I got off, I could, when you're running, you can't tell how fucked up you are. Then as soon as you stop and you start catching your breath, you realize that there's no breath to catch. मैं 12 मिनट लेटा हुआ था. I think I blacked out for 4 minutes. So I've earned today whatever pizza I'm going to order now at 1 a.m.
Bro,
I've earned
what
that.
kind of a question is, are you in an open relationship? No, I'm not in an open relationship, bro.
At least he thinks he's not.
I'm yet to be surprised. I'm yet to be surprised.
अच्छा तू फिर I mean if the VPN issue allows it, वरना तो you'll do commentary. You're going to be joining for a bit for the poker stream also, परसों, right? So that should be fun. Diwali poker stream पे. It's at 8 p.m. On 20th. Tomorrow I'm doing another poker stream, but that's like a chill intro thing. और तेरा कुछ प्लान है इंडिया आने का या ऑफ स्ट्रीम बताएगा?
ऑफ स्ट्रीम बताऊंगा.
हाँ ठीक है. सॉरी तो
भाई सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट है, ऐसे थोड़ी ऑन स्ट्रीम बता दूंगा कब इंडिया आ रहा हूँ.
मैं तुम लोग को स्टोरी में डाल दूंगा चैट.
उठवा लेंगे भाई, मेरे को उठवा लेंगे.
हाँ तो क्या हो रहा है? कैन यू?
मैं ये कह रहा था कि मेरे
भाई
को एक बार
someone
उसका
wants to start a food review channel by the way. Someone has super sent money to tell you. मैं तो
उसे-
थक के बोल गया कि सुपर चैट
तुम पैसे भेजते रहो, हम स्टार्ट कर देंगे.
हाँ.
भूल गया मैं आगे के काम में डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो गया. अच्छा नहीं, मेरे को वो VPN का ब्रेकडाउन दे दियो कैसे करना है वो वाला.
Yeah, I'll figure. Basically, you just try to do this. मैं तो ऑफ स्ट्रीम बोलता हूँ actually. I don't know if I can legally. I don't know what VPN is, guys.
क्या होता है, क्या करना है?
Yeah.
पोकर क्या?
Yeah. And like the problem is कि if I say something that's illegal, I know you have like high priced lawyers, they might just like